play the game. The only winning move is not to play. Just, I send all sorts of horrible shit, and my girl sends me all sorts of horrible shit. So we have a good relationship.
That's when you know you're in love, guys. Whenever you can swear at each other and send horrible shit, you know it's love. So good.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, folks, and thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Smudcast number 51, where we're taking a look at the original, the first, the one that got him on the board on the Escapist, MovieBob. And he is going to be talking about, for some reason, Halo. Halo is, kind of, I don't know why you would cover Halo in 2013 or 2012, whenever he started this video, but okay. Congrats, MovieBob, for his 8 years long or 7 or 8 years long at the Escapist. He's provided endless entertainment for everyone involved. Whether you enjoy his work or whether you find him as a character funny, or you just like laughing, I think we can all agree.
He's also given brilliant insight into the human mind, how society should be, and what we should really be eating when we go to McDonald's.
And then finally, it's kind of like, how modern MovieBob is like, there should be a nerd master race who takes over the world because they're the only ones who matter, and we should exterminate everyone else. The modern fascist MovieBob. I'm really curious to see what hints are in here. It's kind of like watching an early Hitler something, like early Hitler writings or something.
Yes.
It's going to be pretty interesting to dive into this.
It has a certain...
Well, Hitler was bullied in school, and he was bullied out of art college.
It's
he was bullied out of art college. Was MovieBob bullied out of movie college?
maybe this is
film school
after he gets kicked out of college or whatever school, and then he becomes this person. This is where it sounds not as if we could detect it before.
We should just be glad that he can't run for president.
Oh, really? He wasn't born in the United States?
No, run.
He can't
physically run.
Can't run at all.
Damn it, how long did no one got that when I said it?
I thought he was American. I'm sorry. God bless America.
Well, I think he is American.
See, it's beautiful for MovieBob to even exist, and it's the fact that he's American that he could do so, and to consume that amount of food and say the things he does. Because I think if he was any other country, it'd be like, yeah, we don't want you here.
Yeah, I know. There was a whole thing about Canada not accepting people who are going to come in just to live off the system.
There's a few weird stories about that. We're not sure how they work, and we're right nowadays we're just handing out money. We don't know who is taking what. We don't know how much money we've handed out. We don't know how long we've been doing it.
You get money, and you get money, and you get money
every week. It's just the PM's like, okay, we're going to extend CERB for another week for 20 million. It's like, 20 million for what? Who? What? Who's getting it? So
maybe I should just I don't know. Maybe I should just take off on a boat. I paddle myself and just go to just run ashore on Canada, and Canada will take care of me for life.
Yeah, probably. Anyway,
it reminds me of when Labour here were like saying, "Oh, we need to give more money to families." Like, where's this money coming from? We're already in debt thanks to coronavirus. Why do you want to throw more money at things? Do you want the government to get more in debt?
I think we understand.
We should, try and support the country, not falling apart.
As a citizen of the state, you're a slave to the state. You are just a pocketbook for them.
There's already been legislation put in place to allow for people to not have to pay rent. So they can obviously put the food towards on their table rather than this, and they've already got support for people so that people who are unemployed thanks to the coronavirus can have money to feed themselves. So they have, instead of straight up giving everyone enough just to straight up live off, they've said, okay, we've made it easier for you to choose what to pay for, so it's not the option of a roof over your head and food, and we've also given you a little bit of money to obviously buy this food that you need. And things like medicine as well have been... people who have certain conditions who require medicine can also get it for free.
It's been pretty wild the past few months. Just recently, we're opening up in Toronto, I think the next 2 days. Not completely, but there's like a 10-person limit to buildings and parties and what have you. So, yeah, we are opening up just very, very slowly. But people can still take advantage of the CERB and get their $2,000 a month and Yay money, yay deficit, yay debt. So that's the federal government for you, folks. And I think
But
that's
Even after the coronavirus, we're still going to be fucked.
But Trudeau is so handsome. You just have to vote for that guy.
he got a haircut yesterday. It was
We did-
amazing. It's like, wow.
That haircut.
He got
Didn't we establish that Smud Boy is Trudeau's evil brother?
with a buzz cut, yeah.
Oh yeah. So you're both the son of Castro.
Every time I see that comparative picture, I'm like, oh, come on. Please don't. Don't be true, please. That's just wrong. But every time I look at it, it's like, oh, it's so close.
It's just him with a beard. Like it's just Castro is just Trudeau with a beard. That's it.
Trudeau.
All right, let's read some super chats and we'll get started, folks. Jake the Surgeon, thank you, sir. Do you think Bob keeps the captive women he has in his fat folds? Whoa. That's a bit dark.
Sorry, I just had a puke.
Yeah, we'll just give that one a pass. Here's Lenny the Shark. Thanks, sir. Bob movie can swim to the middle of the ocean and declare himself a new continent. Oh, well, you know.
Oh, but so to answer the first super chat, my answer is yes. I think so.
And the second super chat is against his religion, so he would never cease that himself. That's for the right, the radical right to do that. Not
A new continent.
Not the radical left, no. I think it's. Is it a radical right? I heard some bunch of libertarians were doing that one year. They wanted to invent, I don't know, was it abandoned oil rigs or something? They were going to make.
Yeah, they want to put like an oil rig, make a outer heaven from God 5.
Start their own military company.
Get a nuke. That's live the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Yay, America! Oh, jeez.
Someone said, if Bob can't run, how do you expect him to swim?
Well, talking about starting up a military organization, let's learn about Halo.
What is it with like the detective intro?
I don't know, but you know,
I'm just expecting she walked into the office with a cigar.
No, I think Smud Boy could do that, right? He's like a detective, noir detective. Like it was middle in the afternoon. She walked in like
Yeah, it feels like a 1930s flick or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's like
Radio
it was
drama.
like kind of like a Mickey Spillane sort of feel to it.
Oh yeah, no, he would definitely do the pulps for sure. Yeah, no, perfect.
Oh yeah. So MovieBob is ruining the pulps already just by the music. But you know, just seeing MovieBob being attached to Escapist, this gives me the same sense as seeing a lot of these writers being attached to New York Times bestseller. Like it makes me think, wow, this isn't all that great, is it? I mean, just anyone can be a New York Times bestseller. As anyone can work the Escapist, can they? They're just taking anyone.
Was Yahtzee like a random fluke? Was that like the only good thing to come out of it?
Pretty much. He's like the only guy. He's like, the Escapist. Yeah. He's like the one guy holding up the Escapist. No one really watches anything else the Escapist except for Yahtzee.
Hasn't he got his own like YouTube channel now that he uploads to rather than the Escapists themselves?
Yeah, I think he's obligated to do one review a week, I believe. But he also has a YouTube channel, I believe. That's how he is.
I would jump from the Escapists if I was Yahtzee.
Yeah, he's the only guy keeping it up. No one goes to the Escapist other than to see Yahtzee videos. That's it.
Here's a Dr.
How the hell does he live on the same channel as MovieBob?
I'm not even sure what the Escapist is anymore, aside from a forum where they block you every time you say anything related to video games. Or
I'm surprised anyone else can fit on the Escapist because of MovieBob.
Yeah. These jokes are never going to stop, are they? Okay.
No, they're not.
Here's Dr. Crow.
First we got he can't run for president, and then we got no one else can fit on there.
Okay, fine. Here's Dr. Crow. Thank you, sir. And I will call it Rapture. Yes, of course you did. Yes. Always a beautiful reference to Bioshock. One of the greats, one of the wonderful games out there. We miss.
Dr. Crow is sending Smud Boy super chats, huh?
Oh. Wait, what was happening this morning? Was it not working for...
I don't know. I don't know.
I couldn't send you money. No. I was like, what? When was that ever a problem? Here's Jake the Surgeon. Thank you again, sir. The reason why Bob can't have kids is because he leaves a woman's woman a wasteland. Let me think about that for a second. Okay.
What?
A woman's woman
The
a wasteland.
wasteland.
Okay.
I don't get it.
I think I know where he's going with that, but I'll leave that to your interpretation. And one more from Lenny the Shark. Thank you, sir. Spain be like, ah, yes, a new world to conquer. Oh. Jeez.
And
Spain? What are you
I
doing?
remember, I remember someone. I remember someone made like a trope or something like that, or a meme about Justin Trudeau saying, "And so Trudeau wept, for there were no more worlds to diversify."
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we had a cabinet shuffle in Quebec just today. I was like, oh, okay, look at this. Because he was accused of being racist in the federal government, and we had our Jasmeet Singh got kicked out of the house for the day because he accused someone of racism and he wouldn't recant it. So that was fun. And then we had the mayor of, was the provincial, I can't remember who it was, in Quebec, do a cabinet shuffle and put all his cast on diversity. So yeah, we're wonderful in Canada. We just pick winners because we need a color scheme that matches the planet, I guess. In every
We almost have a full
department.
house here, don't we? We just shout out MovieBob and everyone comes running. It's like we took on a mammoth or something, and all the tribe comes in to feast off of him.
Wasn't paying attention, but hi guys, thanks for joining us, Dunn and Voice.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey. Sorry, it took me a little bit to finish up my stream.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about writer's block. Then I ranted about me, Crow, and Gary Stu ranted about Artemis Fowl.
Oh dear.
No, I was just
Yep.
taking a dump.
Okay, so yours was probably more productive.
Well, more so than a MovieBob video.
True.
At least my shit gets somewhere.
Was that done with Kenneth Branagh as well? Did he do that movie? Artemis Fowl?
Yeah. Yep.
He's been in so many things, and all of his stuff is either hit or miss. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's not good. Yeah. It's real bad.
He's been a leading man, he's been a
Very
sub-character, he's been a villain, he's been a director, he's done all this stuff. And then he made the latest Poirot film. He's making another one, which is coming out this year. I'm just like, dude, just don't. Stop doing this B-rate stuff. Do the good stuff. We know you can do it. You were Hamlet one year, then you were Iago the next. Come on. You're a Shakespearean actor.
You
Stay
should play
there.
Othello next.
Yeah.
You should play Othello next.
Yeah, he could do the whole bloody cast if he wants.
Yeah.
With the Othello
probably.
makeup.
All right, Jake the
Yep.
Surgeon. Thanks again, sir. MovieBob is the Escapist, what the Spanish were to the Aztecs. Oh, dear. Also, that's pretty scary. Also, my fingers are stupid. Forgive the tism spelling. Okay. Well, that's a really strong thing to say about entire civilization. But yeah, I don't have insight into MovieBob or America or conquering South America as much as you do, sir. So thank you for your insight.
Well, I was thinking more smallpox. Smallpox killed the Aztecs more than guns.
Oh dear, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
MovieBob is living smallpox. He's just a smallpox version. He's just the critic version of smallpox.
There ain't nothing small about MovieBob, pox or not.
Well, let's
Okay, so
actually
he
hear
is
what he
the-
has to
MovieBob
say.
always orders in large.
So he is the syphilis of movie criticism.
Okay, now you're getting personal, sir. Now you've crossed the line.
Didn't he cross the line when I said he couldn't run for president? I thought that
Well,
was
that's like
bad enough.
your
Could he
mom is
jog
so
about it?
fat. Da 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 da. Right? This is like
MovieBob running for president? Is that what you're saying?
Could he speed
I
walk
said-
president?
Can MovieBob even run?
No,
That's my joke. I don't think he can run.
I don't think he can run for president. Or
Yeah, but
He
can
can
he run
run
for
for president because he can't physically run. God damn it! You're making me explain it, and you're ruining it. And he's debunking my hand.
We don't care for presidents in Canada. It's like, yeah, just some guy with power. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't bother me.
Unlimited power, some might say.
Unlimited power. It need to be the Senate. It need to be the Senate. I call a claim on the Senate.
Well, MovieBob, unironically, is like Anakin Skywalker. He basically has the same political viewpoint.
The whiny fascist.
Yeah, the whiny
Yeah.
fascist.
People will obey, and if they do not, they will be forced to.
Yes. And someone should force them. That sounds like a dictatorship. Well, then I love Hitler. Anakin. What the?
Hitler just
Yep.
gave the Nazis' methods a bad name, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Movie
mean,
Bob's funny
you saw
'cause
that
he's
tweet I
heavy.
sent. I quote MovieBob. I don't believe in horseshoe theory, but increasingly I do believe in everybody is stupid but me. Which is like when you're 12, right? Isn't that what everybody thought at some point when they were like
I
just
think MovieBob is
stupid?
probably mentally 12. So
I think
Yeah.
it's younger than that. Yeah.
Like I said, it isn't the old saying that I'm not young enough anymore to know everything. MovieBob is old enough to realize that he's just not mentally old enough yet. So he's like 12. That's what 12-year-olds think. That's what 13. That's what teenagers think. That they know everything in the world and their parents know nothing. That's when MovieBob never grew out of that mentality.
Yeah, that's,
know
that's
nothing,
exactly what it
MovieBob.
feels like.
Okay, this I really like this reference. MovieBob is the Vladimir Harkonnen of journalism. I actually really like that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Whoever said that is spot on.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Smart man.
Actually, although I prefer Harkonnen's speeches more than MovieBob's, just personally.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Why? Because you can understand them.
Well, that's a good sign, yes. But the main reason it's very Shakespearean and very melodic, and he's talking about destruction and death, and he's being poetic about it. I thought that was. Plus, he's flying around the room and he's a giant blob. It's pretty cool. So,
I'm imagining.
Who are Conan or MovieBob?
Yeah, exactly. I'm imagining you take the Vladimir, the Harkonnen bits from the Dune movie, and then cut it up like MovieBob scripts, where you cut away all of the breathing points, so it just sounds like one long run-on sentence. And then the thing that would be really good is if you did what's Picard's character in that? Gurney?
Gurney, yeah.
Yeah, take Gurney's parts and Yahtzee Croshaw them.
The snow blade penetrates the shield.
Love it.
Yep.
Okay, one more. Let's go. Jake the Surgeon. Bob is patient 0 for syphilis. All right. Okay, none with the syphilis. Can we stop with that? There was a
Gone
joke
too
by
far in a few
Dunn.
places.
Done is done. All right, one is done.
One and
yeah,
done.
I'm a strong believer in diabetes.
Here we
Done.
go.
That should be your
best
stream
show.
name. Your stream show should be called One and Done.
All right, we're
I'll
going.
consider it.
Diabito is the hero we deserve, but
when
not
the
the one we
Escapists told
need.
me they wanted me to do another show for them, I couldn't quite process what was going on. But when
Wait. He has 2 shows?
Yeah, he's got the big picture,
Yeah.
and he's got Bob at the movies, or in movie Bob at the diabetes bar. I don't know. Something.
Is he just mundane Matt, but on the Escapist?
Ironically, I think that Movie Bob is actually better than Mundane Matt. At least Movie Bob is interesting.
I mean, he's interesting, yeah. In some respect, yeah. So, I mean, you can watch one of his videos and say, wow, this is really engaging because how silly it is. With Mundane Matt, it's just mundane. There's no value to a Mundane Matt video.
I highly suggest people go and look at the Medicare video where they cover his old YouTube videos, because Mundane Matt at the time, it was like 2019, I think, he had uploaded like 1,000+ videos. There are some absolute gems from Matt Jarbo's past that absolutely make him more crazy than Movie Bob. It's just that Movie Bob is more like autistic about it. Like he'll put out ideas that you go, maybe I shouldn't tweet that everybody's fucking dumb and I'm the smart guy. Maybe I shouldn't do that. You know,
MovieBob was lobbying for a nerd master race. He could Monday Matt's more crazy than this guy.
yes. Mundane Matt is more crazy than that guy. And when you hear the stories about it, you'll go, what?
Mister, there should be a nerd master race, and he should be Nerd Hitler.
Anybody I think it's crazier to be on Twitter saying it's really hard not to jerk off to ponies, like the My Little Pony ponies, than it is to say
Sorry?
I want a gamer uprising, because that's funny at least.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
Let's not.
Let's not go down that road. But I'm telling you, watch the Mr. Medicare Mundane Match stream, everybody. It's fantastic. And Jim, thank you for your help.
Okay.
Don't think I want to.
That's entertainment for me these days. Movies are terrible. I can't. Nobody's making anything television wise. We got Last of Us 2. I got to get my entertainment from somewhere. It's the internet.
We just got Last of Us 2. That's highly entertaining. It's the next The Last Jedi, but for video games.
Speaking
Did
of,
you know that it's the first video game to be like a movie ever?
It's going to be like, it's going to create so many careers for people talking about it. Because like whenever we stream like The Last of Us, it gets so many views, like 300 or something.
yeah, they're very popular right now. Every time I make a video, it goes to 10K. Just because it's the Last of Us 2 topic. And speaking of that, there's a super chat just about that. Alex K. Thank you, Alex.
This means
Played through about 70%. Wow, of The Last of Us 2 now, and boy, am I depressed. Ouch. All our entertainment is going down in flames. Hope you're happy, Neil Cuckman. Ooh.
That's I gotta find out. I need Neil to come to my house, sit down, have a cup of coffee, and just explain to me why he wanted to piss everybody off. Like, what was it? Like, did you get
Ryan Johnson and Druckmann, or Cuckman, whatever his name is?
I kind of want to jump on the bandwagon now just to get popular. It's like, hey, look, that thing's popular. I haven't done it in a while. May as well go there.
Yeah,
This video game has risen to the infamy quite rapidly of the Last Jedi. So, does that mean I'm going to have to play this game now?
I don't
God,
know.
no.
The Last Jedi.
Or you could save your money and just watch it on YouTube.
It just stopped being popular on Twitter, I think, in the afternoon. Like, it was going for 3 days.
It's going to die off. It's going to die off pretty quickly, honestly. It's just one of those fart in the winds, but it just smelled kind of funny, and then people will forget about it. And then, like, in a week's time, people will go, hey, remember that really funny fart I did? And everyone would be like, oh, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, here's Joe Crazy. Thank you, sir. Just clicked on, what has Bobbert done this time? Well, this is apparently Bobo's second or first of his second series on The Escapist. And he's talking about Halo. And this is apparently a very funny, if not a crazy one to look at. So, I think
it is the big picture, you know.
Yeah, his first big picture, that's right.
Very big.
It's a beast picture, you might say.
So one thing I want to, Market 3D made a really good point. I want to see Ryan Johnson and Neil Druckmann make a video game together.
Why?
I mean, Ryan Johnson launched 1,000 ships. He was the guy who launched 1,000 YouTube careers with how bad the Last Jedi was. Druckmann has done almost the same thing with making it so horrible, making himself so intensely hated that he just lit YouTube on fire. So I wanted to see these two guys come together, and what kind of gem will we ironically love?
Okay, we're getting some funny chat messages, hashtags. Here's Mark in 3D. MovieBob is a meme factory. Matt is toilet paper. That's not sure about that comparison there. What you were talking or implying.
Mundane Matt is toilet paper. I think that's pretty spot on. Either that or YouTube being too generous with toilet paper. I don't know which.
Apparently, they want LiteratureDevil to play Last of Us 2. I don't know if that's worth of his time or his resources or his sanity. I don't think that's. I mean, he could do it.
Just watch it on YouTube level. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, tell you what. Whoever has a PS4, get it, and LiteratureDevil will stream your Let's Play. How's that? Does anyone have it? Does anyone care? I don't care. I don't want to touch it.
Anyone here have a PS4?
No.
Any of you?
Yeah, that'll work.
Peasants?
No.
Didn't think so.
I'm
Yes,
not a
I
console
do.
plebeian, okay? I'm a part of what Yahtzee calls the PC master race.
I have a PS4.
All right, man. It's okay. We're taking donations for LiteratureDevil to watch Voice in the Radio play.
No.
Oh my God.
We've got to all stream it on LiteratureDevil's channel as a voice plays it.
You want to react to me playing a game I despise?
Yes.
Yes.
This will be fun.
No.
We'll pay you for it.
Yeah, you'll get paid.
Keep your blood money.
It's not up to me. It's up to the chat. I'm just saying this is an option.
Donate to Voice
Chat.
on the Radio to try and get him to play Last of Us, and he will stream it with LiteratureDevil and probably myself and others.
Chat,
And we can all laugh at his pain.
if
No,
you
I
have
do.
any
Yeah.
respect for me, chat, please no.
No, I do.
Chat.
I would do
Keep
that.
your
Okay.
money.
Chat.
Can I just
chat? Spam us with money. Spam us with money.
Oh, do you know what we could do? We could do a movie night where we just watch the cutscenes of The Last of Us 2, just all together.
That'll work. Just skip the gameplay. It's pretty much a movie anyway, right?
Yeah. We can do it like we did The Last Jedi, and you know what the best thing is? Oh, sorry, Rise of Skywalker. And the best thing is that we don't have to edit it for copyright, and we can actually do it as a stream.
Yeah,
Which,
pretty
the
much.
what? Last of Us?
Yeah,
The
Last of Us
Last of
Well,
Us
2,
just
and then,
everybody should tune into the Southpaw streams. He's been playing it.
Oh, there we go.
that's
Great.
true.
Yeah,
there
but
you
then Southpaw is kind of stinky.
What?
Have
What's
you
wrong with
seen
Southpaw?
his beard though?
Nothing's wrong with Southpaw. He does have a very fine beard.
Can I just add something that I came across on Twitter now that I know it's not related, but you got to hear this. Everybody has to hear this right this second. And LiteratureDevil is going to get a kick out of this. This is what AOC said on a stream. Latinos are black.
Black. Yeah, I saw that.
We have to have conversations around colorism, and we have to have conversations around the African and indigenous roots from which we come from, and how that's reflected in systems of power.
Wait.
So all you
Let
Latinos, you can say the N-word now.
Do you have a comment on that?
Has AOC ever met a Hispanic person before?
Ni entiendo.
Does she's
The Hispanic thing is that they're not black.
Without going into much detail, she just lost the entire Hispanic vote.
I hope so. Because that's her, that's most of where she lives, right? Is like Dominicans and some Haitians and stuff.
They are not going to be taking likely to that. That's you don't say things like that.
No, you don't.
To the large part of
donated 20 Donkey Kong currency for voice to play Last of Us 2.
But what's funny to me is that's like a MovieBob quote almost.
I'm trying to compare his love of fascism to her love of, I don't know, diversity politics, and it's just like, are they compatible? I guess. Yeah.
No. Just so I could, just to move along from this. Okay, so what we can do. Wednesday we can watch The Dark and the Jedi, and I'll edit that together. And on Friday we can watch The Last of Us 2 on the live stream. How about that?
All right, we'll bug Southpaw if he has stream or already has footage, and then we'll either cut it up or ask him to show us how it's done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's easy enough to find footage on The Last of Us 2. I'm pretty just Google it. Google Last of Us Let's Play. It'll be there.
All right. Well,
I have no interest because I've already been watching the game. I'm not going to go back to it. I know exactly what happened.
No, Glib, you gotta come.
No, I'm not.
Join us.
Everybody
Join
that
us,
wants to
Glib.
watch a good stream, watch the Some Ordinary Gamer stream.
No,
That one was- Oof.
Join us, Glib. Join us.
wait. Someone said Biden just selected Cortez as his running mate. No way.
No
There's-
way.
No way.
Dang.
Oh no! Oh, I think he's saying. I think that's a joke off of if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, or whatever.
Okay.
Just fantastic. I mean, I don't mean to get into like a political aspect of the stream. I think this is a little slightly irrelevant. It's mostly irrelevant, but it's the context of what we're living in is just so goofy. I don't know how to deal with that. Like that's a real person saying that. No, think about it. It's like 10 years ago somebody said, and I can't wait to get to this point in the Halo thing. We'll get to a point where he makes a racial statement about somebody's eye color, but just like everybody focused on these aspects of humanity that are unchangeable that you're born with, I will never understand. Just don't get it.
All right, let's go through some super chats and we'll keep going because we are slowly behind. Agent Yokai Zero, thank you, sir. Make LD play Last of Us 2 and then give Smudboy Doki Doki PTSD. I still have that game installed. I haven't touched it. I don't think I ever will.
Yeah.
You
I'm
must
good
play
on that. There's so many bad ideas in chat, and I'm not going to listen to you guys.
You must play it, Smudboy. You have to play.
I don't know.
I'll play Yandir Dev when it comes out.
Oh, God, that's even worse. Oh my God.
Let's go.
Oh boy! All right, John Maelstrup. Toilet paper is actually useful, though I agree. Yeah, you're right. That is very useful. And mundane man is therefore very useful as toilet paper.
He's a toilet bowl.
He's a toilet bowl.
You know, in this time of toilet paper shortage.
Oh. Here's Zophis.
Well, you know, the one good thing about you know, the coronavirus and these terrible comics is it gives us something to wipe our ass with.
There's an idea. Play Ghost of Tsushima. I think we'd all appreciate that. The cinematic feel, the samurai, the lighting, the fields, the Assassin's Creed vibe. I think everyone would appreciate that. That'd be great. Okay, Zofritz, thank you. Money for The Last of Us 2 movie night. Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to find out soon enough.
No, it will. I'm doing this now on my channel.
Jesus,
I'm doing
okay, we're doing it. Okay. Wasn't just a suggestion. We're doing it. You know him as...
No, I suggested it.
You know
my
him as...
plan all along.
You know him as
everything
Genghis
that's
Khan.
happened to my plan.
AOC just gave us all the N-word pass. Well, I don't think you're going to use that as an excuse. Be very careful.
I'm not going to say that word.
Do it.
LiteratureDevil, you now have the M-word pass, apparently.
Black people and Mexicans are almost the same in every way, Anakin.
We're all the same under the Force.
Is the Democrat side stronger?
Oh, God. Lenny the Shark. At the end of the day, they're just bone and meat and sufficiently cowed. Most will stifle before you have to break any of that. Words from the mighty Bob. Yes, he is a wordsmith.
It's so evil. It's perfect villainy. And the fact that he's a reviewer and doesn't understand that his own words are like fictional villain words is the lol cow. That's the magic of MovieBob. Is that he'll be like super righteous and then he'll say something that sounds like the bad guy from a Wolfenstein game.
You know what they should do? You remember how they did that thing with Trump where they just took one of his speeches and put in a dialogue balloon of Red Skull? Should do it with MovieBob. Just get an actual villain and then write his words into the word balloon of an actual comic villain.
That sounds like a great way to spend my time while we watch the rest of this video.
All right, one left, and we'll keep going. Jake the Surgeon, thank you, sir, for a less gross comment. I hope you're all doing well. I give this unemployment money in hopes it helps you. Thanks, Jake. Jesus. Now you're making us feel bad.
Why are you giving Smud money when you can give me money? What are you talking about? It's not going to help me. Thank you, Jake.
I equally distribute the money to whomever does the one thing, which is play The Last of Us 2. So.
Stifle. Yes, our remastered DX. It's pronounced stifle. I was wondering if it's Canadian or something to say stifle, or if that's one of those Yogi Berra-isms.
Oh, that's one F. I'm sorry. Yes, stifle.
I used to think that fiery was fury because I had never heard anybody say it out loud.
What?
I know, it's weird.
All right, we can keep going. Let's go.
They said it could be a show where I just get up on my soapbox and say whatever I want about whatever random nerdy thing is on my mind at the moment. While these pop art representations of my fractured psyche spell out my emotional state, it all became crystal clear. I am working for crazy people.
You're working as a crazy person for crazy people.
Force they're about to unleash upon the interwebs. On the big picture, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. TV, science, food, movies, comics, politics, monkeys, whatever. But because I like to make a big entrance, let's kick things off by talking about video games. These video games. Alright, so it's no secret in the gaming world that I'm not a big Halo fan, but because some readers kept asking, I did go and give Halo Reach a shot. I'm still not feeling it. Sorry. Hey, big ups to Bungie on all that brilliant characterization on Noble Team, though. The girl soldier is a bad...
Okay, so I have a question. If any of you were going to enter the Halo... if you're going to play Halo for the first time, what would you play? Would it be the one which is not the entry to the series, or would you play, the first game?
The first game.
Well, isn't Reach the first game?
No,
Chronologically.
Reach is chronologically the first, but it's not the introduction to the series. It's also obviously not the best in the series either. I would highly recommend, playing the first game, then the second game, then the third game. The order you're supposed to play them in. That makes sense to play them in.
Well, if it's first chronologically, then it would make sense to play it first.
Well, obviously he doesn't enjoy it.
Oh, do you watch the prequels first? You some kind of madman?
The best Halo game is Halo 1, and I stand by that.
If you're going to
Halo
do,
3.
If you're going
Halo
to
3 is just a weak copy of Halo 1.
If you're going to do if you're going to do the Middle-earth series, you don't start with Lord of the Rings and then do The Hobbit. You do The Hobbit, then Lord of the Rings, because chronologically that's how it works.
Yeah, but The Hobbit came out first. It was released first. The thing about Halo 1 that is the reason why you start with the Halo Combat Evolved, it's not necessarily because of where the story starts, but it's how it sets in motion all of the elements of the entire series. If you don't play Halo 1, you're not going to understand where everything came from. It's the most balanced version of the game. It has, I think the first half is the best series, like part of the series, and then the second half tapers off a little bit. But it's the most basic, while at the same time being the most balanced, in my opinion. And Halo 2 is like the opposite of that. And Halo 3 fixes those problems.
I remember when it came out back in the day, and we were playing either Halo, Quake 3, Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, or whatever in the labs that had all the really nice machines for the animation students. And if we were quiet, we could all play. The animator teacher was great. He just let us play whatever we wanted so long as we were quiet. He loved it. So.
All I know is that if you weren't alive to play Halo 1 when it came out, I don't respect your opinion on the Halo series right now because I'm a boomer. So, okay. F you, Zoomers, deal with it.
All right, here's Lieutenant Colonel Tanya Vaughn.
I'm going to have to disappoint you, Glib. I've only played 2 Halo games.
That's fine. I don't, you don't have to. You don't have to like shit. I'm just saying that the way that I look at it is that I look at Halo as like a great example, probably the best example of what a console shooter should be like.
Yes.
The way that the story is laid out, the way that you engage your opponents, the way that the AI is programmed, your weapon choices, the way that each weapon is distinct and unique. I find that all interesting. It's not perfect. I think that the library and up into Assault on the Control Room is pretty poor after the midpoint, but it's such a solid FPS. I keep coming back to it whenever I want to play a controller FPS, and I don't think that there's a better example outside of Halo than like a Halo 3. Like, obviously you can compete with it. If we wanted to be really like nerdy about it, I would say that Halo is my favorite, but I also really, really like ODST. But I'm not going to let my biases get in the way of what I think of objectivity, which is the level design and the scripting and how everything comes together for Halo is pretty unique. There's not as many holes that are introduced into the combat when you start to double up on weapons like the brute plasma weapons or the brutes replacing the elites. That's doubling up on certain things and adding distinction where there really isn't any. But that's a whole discussion. This is really more about the conception of Halo as a game than it is the game. And I think he just doesn't like the American war, modern combat, or combat evolved type situation. I know that everybody's going to have a different opinion, but I'm not talking about multiplayer. I'm only talking about single player. And I know that I'm not going to disagree. I know that I'm not going to agree with people. They're just coming from different places.
That's when you have 2 very good products that have a pedigree and they're actually based off each other, that you can argue the details of which is better because they're already up above everything else. So.
Absolutely, and this is the thing. I'm sorry, just as you say, because I know this is like a hot take or something for chat right now. But the only games that I don't like from Halo are 4, 5, Wars 1, and that stupid Spartan game. Everything else is fun. So quarreling over what the best Halo game is not really interesting to me. It's I put out the Halo 1 as the best one because like I'm a fanboy for it, just like other people are a fanboy for 3. Because like Warthog chases the best and all this stuff. Like the emotional highs of these games make it worth playing. So Voice, if you want if you are a first-person shooter fan and you like saving the world, play Halo 1 to ODST. I don't think you need to play Reach. I think Reach is really boring. I've never been able to make it through the campaign in Reach without getting bored or playing co-op.
I'm terrible at first-person shooters, and fuck the world.
Okay then, thanks.
I know the first Halo game was pretty great because you got that assault rifle that had a clip of a magazine of 60 bullets. It was insane.
Reach is required gaming. I mean, I understand that we're like it's Halo on topic, right? But Halo Reach is I got problems. Maybe I'll do a review of some of these Halo games so that I can actually enumerate. What I'm realizing is that all my hot takes require hours of explanation.
I just love that LiteratureDevil says 60 rounds. That's amazing. Like American goes, yeah, it is amazing. Canada's like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Clips, hair. What are you talking about? All right. Okay, here we go. Lieutenant Colonel Tanya von de Gurshev, thank you again. Hello, all my nibbas. Wow, YouTube would let me do that. Yes, it does. Nibbas are well, it's a nice word.
You can't say Schwarzenegger. You can't say nibbers. Well done.
Totally fine. In the world of YouTube. It's great. Here we have another one from Joe Crazy. Thank you, sir. MovieBob is what you get when you give Big Smoke's eating habits physical form. Wow. Okay, comparing Big Smoke to McDonald's, a little different. I see where you're going with there, but I would still keep it in the realm of McDonald's. I think that's the best way to describe MovieBob.
Big Smoke eats a lot of stuff. He eats a lot of food. I remember Big Smoke. I want 2 number 2s, 5 number 5s, 1 extra number 5.
One number 9. Oh man, we need to do. Somebody needs to. We need to get somebody that does a Big Smoke voice thing, and then we need to recreate that scene, but it's MovieBob going in there.
Oh God, no, that would not work. No, that would not work, sir.
He wouldn't get through the door.
Well, no, he wouldn't be able to pronounce half the thing at the way he would speak it. So it'd be like a Shakespearean actor, or sorry, a guy from like the South speaking extremely quickly with all these vocabulary words you cannot even come near to pronounce. It wouldn't work. You could try.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho.
Yep.
More super chats. Let's keep going. Lollipop Lord of Ahegal. Hello. Halo Spartan Assault has the best soundtrack. Okay, now there's a good argument to be made. There's lots of great tunes and soundtracks to all the Halo series. And
yeah,
regardless of the game.
That's an insane thing to say, by the way, in my opinion. But I'm sure there's a reason behind that. I don't buy that.
Well, he's not making an argument for the actual campaign's quality, which I think everyone could agree the quality of that is absolutely godshite, terrible.
I don't know.
No, I understand. I've heard somebody else make that argument before. I've actually been in a debate on the Mauler Discord about the Halo soundtracks. I think
the soundtrack just kind of blends together between every game.
That's the best part about it. Yeah, Marty McDonough.
That's the weakest part about it. It all sounds the same.
Well, Marty O'Donnell was really, really good about themes and certain motifs that were going to be replayed over and over again that you could recognize that would bring you back to the game, and then each game tried to have a distinct harmonic difference, chord progression differences that would reflect more about where you were in the game. So every time that you're around the flood, there's much more dissonance in the music. There's a quicker beat, a rapid pace. There's a lot of like emergency sounds, but the thing is that Spartan Assault isn't a Marty O'Donnell album, which means that it's made by a more B-list soundtrack creator or whatever. And the thing that I always noted about it was that it had way more. It was much more generic in its composition. It was much more run of the mill in its instrumentation selection. Whereas the thing about Marty O'Donnell's tracks is that he was very specific about what kind of percussion. It's going to be African percussion, but maybe sometimes we have a drum kit. And then he didn't add the guitar elements until the Mjolnir mix, until the second game, and that was a build up on the melodies that were played with the violins. But So it's like he was very, very precise about how he selected things, what he gate kept in and out of the studio as far as instrumentation. And that's why it's impossible for me to agree with something like Spartan Assault that's made by a different composer with more generic elements is going to be more interesting than listening to the main creator who made all these tracks. And I think that a lot of magic is in Marty's fingertips, and I highly suggest people go listen to the unreleased or the pre-release Destiny tracks, because you can see how he uses the same techniques, but it's for a different context. So if you think that all the Halo stuff sounds the same, check out what Marty did with Reach on that album, and get back to me and let me know if you think you hear like there's a distinct difference between there's a similarity in how he constructs things, because that's how the artist makes their work, but what he selects is different. And there's slight distinctions in each of the Halo games. And that's partly the reason why I think I have two sides of this. I enjoy the Halo 1, 2, 3 proper, and I really like ODST, even though it's a different type of music. And obviously this would all be kind of a tangent, but since we're talking about Halo, I feel okay with talking about it. We can talk about Halo forever. And by the way, just for chat, themes in music are not the same thing as a theme in a story. A theme in a music is very specific. It's either a harmonic, melodic, or rhythmic element.
Yeah. So a theme is like Vader's theme and Star Wars.
A theme is like it's a melody progression of da 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 na 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 na. That's a theme. You get it plays whenever the Empire show up, so that the emotions that are like programmed into your mind or that are elicited from those sounds or from the images.
Like, oh shit, this guy's here. Trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Or you get like a little violin thing where it's like na na na, and you're like, oh, it's suspense. Something's gonna happen. It's music cues influence the film or the video game, and they usually precede an event to get you into the appropriate emotion.
Yeah, have you seen The Grudge?
Which one?
I think the original one, where it has the original Japanese one, I believe.
Yeah, I like
it has where the ghost always comes with that sound cue. It's not a song per se. It's more like this weird chord sound.
Say that again. What about the weird chord sound? Sorry, cut out.
She always gets a weird chord. I don't know what's
I think those are called stings. Yeah. Like little just da-da. Yeah. I like that.
All right, so getting back to the video, we have Bob talking about this particular female character who's apparently special. I'm going to rewind it a bit just to make sure we didn't miss it, because he talks so quickly.
I'm going to be honest, I found the characters in Reach rather flat. It was the story.
Yeah, they're all walking stereotypes.
ODST is so much better because it's the Firefly cast. It's fucking amazing.
That's right, that's true.
I thought the story
Nathan Fillion, what's he doing there?
But the missions were all kind of samey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got to go to X, but oh no, your warthog has crashed 3 miles away from X. Now you must track that.
Yeah, Reach is... I'm telling people, don't start with Reach, because you're going to give people the most generic, tired, Bungie version of Halo. Like, they've already done everything. Go to the beginning of their story.
They were just doing Reach so they could get out of being with Microsoft. They wanted out of there.
They wanted to do Destiny as far back as ODST when they were putting posters up in it. And... in the game, and I feel like when you play Halo 1, it's like straight from the conception. It jumps you right into the situation. You're getting attacked on a spaceship, you fall down to the ring world that's down there, and then plot just immediately starts and you get dumped into the game. I like that. Halo Reach, it's like, you gotta go protect these colonists, and okay, now they're attacking, and it's like, I've done this a million times already. Just give me whatever. And don't do it. Play Halo 1 first, and then play through the game, and then go back to Reach. And you'll have all those emotions and memories from the previous Halo games, and you'll get all sad, and you'll become a fanboy like the rest of them.
All right. That was a great tangent. Still on topic, but still a great tangent. Thanks, guys.
Sorry.
All right, back to Bob.
Bungie on all that brilliant characterization on Noble Team, though. The girl soldier is a badass. The other badass likes to stand out. The really big guy is actually a big-hearted softy. Hoo-hoo, boy. Way to break the mold, fellas. But ultimately, it did lead me
Sarcasm.
to a kind of revelation, or at least a notion that had been building up slowly in my subconscious finally broke out and flowered into a full-formed thought. The Covenant is so much more interesting and diverse visually than the Spartans are.
That's so
Does anyone
interesting.
else notice this? Now, to be fair, this makes sense.
Can we
in
pause for a second?
context. The Spartans are a military.
So Spartans are supposed to be in the promo material for Halo 1. If you go back, it says you are the last Spartan, like you're the last of a kind. You're supposed to be unique. And what happened was, just like every, the Green Lantern Corps or whatever, and becoming all of the Rainbow Corps or whatever they have, once the interest is there, people want more variation. And once you want to tell more stories, or you want to go back and you do a prequel before you were the last Spartan, of course you have to have more of them. Now, the distinctions between them, they're all just people. I think it's very interesting that MovieBob is saying that the humans are less interesting than the aliens. And it's like, yes, Bob, because they're aliens and they can be all zany and stuff. But why? What do you have against humans?
Are you saying that in the Halo 1, Master Chief is all of the Spartans?
Yeah.
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 Awesome.
Like Rey's all
Like Rey's all the Jedi.
It's
and
essentially
Palpatine.
a Captain America story where you come at this hero who's from the Super Soldier program, and he's going to lead everyone to victory. And he's more than
I never
just a
thought
hero.
about that. Sorry. That was like that was really brilliant. I never thought of it. I bet that the person that invented Halo was probably a Captain America fan. Go on.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. He's just a really strong guy that everyone is betting everything else on because he's the last of his kind. All the rest got wiped out, so there's really no hope left, and he's the only one to do it. And he ends up being amazing because you're obviously the player character, you control him, and it's through you that you can do all these amazing things. And everyone sees that, and they call you, the Chief, the Master Chief, the
Master Chief.
always Chief. Yeah, so they know how important you are, and they sort of give you leeway whenever you come across another commander or what have you. So it's that sort of level of revelry toward the character. And I don't know why Bob's like, oh, yeah, the aliens, they're so more interesting. It's like, we're a bunch of space marines. What do you want? Like, do you want like characterization for every single thing they do? That was in Reach. Like that was the idea. But back in Halo 1, it was more focused. It was more simple.
Outfit specifically raised and scientifically augmented to be largely faceless, emotionless force of living weapons. They're a militaristic, quasi-fascist wet dream, basically.
Okay.
They're a fascist.
Really gross. So,
Okay.
MovieBob had a wet dream to these guys?
It's a strange way of putting it. I don't know where he's getting how the Spartans are a bunch of fascists because there's only one left at that point in time. But it's
because they're an authority. Everything's fascist, MovieBob. Everything's fascist.
Is it because they're like a one big unit, just that all look the same?
I don't know.
I think it's because the military.
They're fascist because they're picking on the poor aliens invading us.
He really has to define the word. Fascism is such a loaded word. There's so much history behind it, and it's just a buzzword these days that means nothing. If he knew anything about history or the definition of Italian fascism was where the word fascist came from, he would have read Giovanni Gentile. He would have understood what happened in the 20s and the 30s, what led up to that. But he doesn't. He just uses the word. This is a fascist military organization. It's like, that's not what fascism is.
Nope.
It's like saying Canada. He's like a bunch of Canadians. Like, what does that mean? You're a whole country of people with different thoughts and beliefs. What are you referring to specifically? The Westminster.
The Canadians are all one person.
Is MovieBob just calling the Spartans fascist because the armor looks nice and they're very high fashion?
Only fascists are allowed to be aesthetic. You know that. What? You think that the anarchists are going to hire Hugo Boss? No. Come on.
Here's a Nathan Brake. Thank you, sir. The Last Spartan is a tagline from Halo 2, not Halo CE. Okay, I didn't know that. Halo 2 is not.
I know that the last Spartan is, but if you go and look at the whole Halo 1 campaign for Xbox before it came out was, you're the last hope for humanity. Like, you're the guy.
You're the guy.
You're the guy,
You're
man.
the guy.
Right.
You're the man now, dog.
In this game, you get to play the main character.
Yeah. watch the behind the scenes. The one of the guys that created Master Chief was like, yeah, he's a suit of armor for the player. We want him to be. But then in Halo 2 and 3, he's like, all right, I want a little crack in the armor. I want a little bit more from it. Great direction. Great direction, great directing, great lead. Executive decisions being made by Bungie. And part of the reason why they fell apart was because they couldn't agree on stuff anymore. But yeah, last of a kind, and it's not fascist.
Here's Joe Crazy. Thank you, Joe. Hank Hill. Damn it, Bobby. What the hell? Oh, Jesus.
Damn it, Bobby. What the hell?
Thank you. I was wondering if someone's going to say that for me.
MovieBob, you are insane. Why do you exist?
Joe Crazy, by the way, Hank Hill would never say damn it because he's a good Christian man. It would be, dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby. Yeah, that's what he would say.
Dang it, Bubba.
It's like imagine that meme where he goes into his room and puts on the headphones to listen to the music, but instead it's just Joel being beaten with a club.
Oh no! Don't do that.
That's a good meme. Come on, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Not sure about that. Not sure that checks out.
Dang it, Abby.
Where'd you put my putter? Why is it red on the bottom? You been killing some rabbits?
I love that. That's your Hank Hill. It's like, how did these stupid American Southerners speak again?
Let me try. My attempt at impromptu voice acting. No thanks.
No, that was good though. That was pretty good.
How do these sons of guns do anything?
That was a drawl. Anyway, let's see what he's got to say because it gets worse. You should see his evidence for how they're fascists. I'm waiting for it. It has to do with eyes.
Is it that they look good or something?
Oh, it's very, worse. It's dumb. It's so dumb. Yeah,
they're very fashionable. That's what it is.
It's fashionable.
Fashionable fascists. There we go.
That's a new line now.
I'm pretty sure that's
how they promote themselves.
That's what MovieBob thinks fascist means at this point because he uses it so much. Does he think there's people who have nice, distinctive, clean, crisp uniforms? They must be fascist.
Master Chief Hank Hill, Spartan 2 Commander Propane. It's great.
What the hell?
He's got it's got a double-barreled rocket launcher, but instead of shooting rockets, it shoots propane tanks.
Okay, we're going.
Right down to being named after the society that wrote the book on militaristic quasi-fascist wet dream.
What? What? Wind it back. Wait. Wind it back.
Who wants to take this?
This is weird. It's definitely not because the Spartans were seen as some of the most powerful warriors in the world.
Go back. I want to follow his train of thought. How he got from A to B there.
Okay, we'll read it one more time. All right, here we go.
Right down to being named after the society that wrote the book on militaristic quasi-fascist wet dreams.
Spartans were in the word fascist hadn't even been invented yet.
But it's a perfect metaphor. Spartans they're super soldiers that exist, and the process is very risky, kind of similar to the 40K thing. And they're supposed to represent humanity's last hope or whatever.
He's talking.
They're just like Spartans.
But he's talking about like Roman Spartans were quasi-fascist.
Well, his verbiage and his political outlook is obviously stupid as fuck. But from the artistic perspective, from the idea of taking Spartans as the concept of you're a warrior culture, it's all about refinement, and you get rid of defective units. A military program that did the same thing, where they hit you with the super soldier juice and then they try and train you and develop you from a young age, makes a lot of sense. So what he's mad about is the concept, and then he wants to point the blame and imply that Bungie is somehow supportive of these ideas instead of artistically using them appropriately. Like, is somebody Bungie going to come out and say, "Yo, absolutely, the Spartans were cool. Throw your baby on the rocks if they're deformed"? That's a good idea.
So the idea.
Why would Roman Spartans be classified as fascist? What is the distinction?
they-
They had an
they-
empire because they.
You know, your voice, you're well educated and well spoken, and MovieBob is not. He just assumes anything that's authoritarian is fascist, which is why he uses the word quasi-fascist. He might as well use the word pseudo-Marxist or something. Could be
Yeah, I
the
guess
same
they
thing.
are. They do have some like fascist tendencies, I guess. Like if you look at their society, they, the whole
Authoritarianism isn't fascism. They're two completely separate things.
No, they're not fascism. But the thing about
The British Empire were fascists, of course.
We're talking in the time when the Romans existed, that there were multiple competing people building empires, like the Saxons, the Celts, the Vikings. Yes, the Romans were also one of them. They were waging war factions across Europe. Just because they wanted to build an empire doesn't make them fascist. It means they had goals and dreams.
Yeah.
MovieBob's assertion.
Just an empire with a dream.
MovieBob's assertion is apparently that the developers of Halo were like sitting around in the creative team room and saying, "What should we name these new characters after? Should we name them after warriors? No. What's the most fascist society in history? The Spartans? Yeah, let's do that." It's definitely they definitely didn't name them because of the Spartans were warriors. They definitely named them because the Spartans were apparently fascist or whatever. That's what it was.
It's so stupid.
But yeah, Chet is pointing out somebody made
no brain.
Somebody's pointing out that Spartans weren't Romans. Everybody knows, chat, that Rome and Greece were the same thing. Didn't you go to American public school?
Romans, Greeks, same thing, same difference.
No, totally the same thing. They're both Italian.
I am intimately familiar with both Greek and Roman warfare. They are very, very different. Romans are expansionists.
I 100% appreciate the fact that best chat, obviously, is there to correct us. Most of the time when we're riffing on something, there's a lot of moments where you pause and you really want to say something properly, or you gloss over something and you make a mistake.
So
I do it all the time.
Did I say the Spartans were Romans? Oops.
Somebody said it. I don't remember who, but it doesn't really matter. That's not the point.
Yeah, I don't even remember who said it.
Yeah.
All right, here's Nathan Brake. We're going to have to go through some super chats now. In the expanded material, Spartans were children kidnapped to create super soldiers to fight insurrectionists. They are pretty much machines. Yeah, they're bred and born to be these amazing warriors. So, not quite the same as a city-state of ancient Greece. A little different there. So, I don't know where he's getting his ideas crossed between a 100-year-old concept and a 2,000-year-old concept. It's very different. If you look at the culture of the Spartans and the villages of Greece. Sorry?
Sorry, go on.
I said he struggles to grasp any kind of concept, so no surprise there.
Well, it's the same concept of people who believe that their conclusion is correct and they work backwards to fit into every square hole they could find. It's just this ridiculous mindset. And they say, oh, this is fascist, that's fascist, this is a racist, that's a racist. It's like, this is getting ridiculous now. We can't say there's a tribe of Greece that was competing against the military might of Athens at the time, were maybe a little powerful. Why was that? It's not because they were fascist, because that never existed then. Obviously, we all know that. It's because of their way of life, their attitude, how they were raised. Women were in control of the household. Men were in control of the war and fighting and all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I guess MovieBob never had read the very vicious rivalry between the Spartan League and the Delian League.
Yeah, no, right?
I don't think he's read anything. He's played video games his whole life. I don't think he's read any of the history. He just calls everything fascist instead.
It's it's amazing that was a real historical event, not like fiction. Like the concept of Athens and Sparta having disagreements not right next to each other, but having similar cultures and languages. It's great stuff. Let's get into it. Let's not ignore it. Let's embrace the fact that history is full of these things and talk about them and have them play out so that we can understand why things failed. There's a lot of
stuff. Fascist confirmed.
No, quasi-fascist.
Yeah, sorry. Ooh, that makes a big difference there, doesn't it?
Everybody knows that I'm an anarcho-fascist, monarchist, minarchist, confederate,
partial, semi,
pseudo, quasi, Thracian.
That way when they say he's wrong, you say, I said quasi-fascist. I didn't say fascist.
I didn't say you were. I just said you were exactly, almost like it, completely.
Kind of, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, here's Jake the Surgeon. Thank you, sir. They aren't fascist. Shady for taking children from their homes and turning them into killing machines, yes. Just like the Spartans from history, also humanity is being pushed to extinction. Desperate times. Yeah, you have to understand what's happening in the Halo universe and why such things were happening. When you have this amazingly powerful, dominating alien organization destroying you, you're pushed into a corner. You do stuff like that.
In Red versus Blue, there's a very good line. Like, you can always say about the show, like they have it is in Halo somewhat, and I think the line still applies. Where it says in when faced with extinction, every alternative is preferable. Like, so you go to any length to make sure that that you don't go extinct, that you don't get completely erased. Survival is most important over morality.
Why can't humanity just be good humanity? Why can't they just be tolerant and accepting and just lie down and die for the Covenant?
You know why? It's because MovieBob is secretly a Covenant sympathizer.
He's a Covenant spy.
Yeah, he's a Covenant spy. He thinks that he's Sangeli, but he's really a grunt.
At this point, I would totally believe that if we got invaded by aliens or something, that MovieBob would totally be a collaborator.
Oh, 100%. Somebody. I'm gonna make a movie about an alien invasion eventually, and MovieBob will be the guy that they work with because he just hates everybody.
MovieBob. Cinema Robert.
Cinema Roberto.
Come stai, Roberto?
Wait. So someone said Batman Beyond is being created. Wait, what?
Don't tell me things like that. I want to stay ignorant.
Don't get my hopes up. Don't.
Oh no. Make a Batman Beyond game by Rocksteady. Do it.
Oh boy.
Anyway, fuck. I would love that. I want that.
Already.
Okay, Jake the Surgeon, thank you again. Bob, you keep using this word. I don't think it means what you think it means, you pseudo-intellectual hagfish. Oh boy. Well.
Oof.
I don't know.
You fuckwit.
I don't think a hagfish is in his vocabulary. I don't think he knows too much about the fish area of the food pyramid. So maybe the wrong insult there.
Look, here, all I'm saying is if MovieBob is after you, just hide in a salad.
Put on one of those communist hats and go work in the gardens. He won't know you there. He's like, what's that? What are those for?
He's unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar territory for him.
Tyler Preston, thank you, sir. Bob Shipman, I am the Galaxy Brains. Okay. I like that.
Ironically, MovieBob is the villain from Ghostbusters. You know?
You mean 2016?
2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
You have to clarify this shit.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot that. That one movie that had Melissa McCarthy in it, whatever it was, Ghost Hunters, XD.
That movie. Saw that movie. I haven't even seen it. I've just seen like bits of it and just like, oh.
It's hard to watch.
You had to see it because if you didn't, you're sexist or something.
Don't you want to pass that down to your children? Don't you have something you want to give to your kids?
Oh, no.
I'm not a child abuser.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Renegade Cut is the funniest ethical quandary making fellow. I was like, what? It's for your generation. It's for the other generation of what? People who hate movies? Like what?
No, people who hate comedy or people who are just weird in the head like Bob.
I'm sure Bob loved Ghostbusters. I don't even know if he did, but I'm sure he does.
I think he gave it like a 7 or 8 out of 10 or something.
Yeah.
Yuck.
All right, keep going. Nathan Brake, Spartan 3, which you play as Reach, was humanity trying to delay the Covenant. They kidnap children, pump them full of hormones, making them expendable. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that the chat is trying to spam us with super chats to keep us from watching the video so they don't lose brain cells.
It's Spartan 3s are a perfect example of this metaphor of the Spartan Empire because not empire. I don't know why I said that. The kingdom, basically, or the republic. Yeah, no, I'm messing around. The point is that Spartans are expendable because they serve a greater purpose, and that's basically what, which am I talking about here? I could say the same thing for both the Halo franchise and for the actual government and people of Sparta.
Here's Agent Yokai Zero, Fascist Dissonance. It sounds like a Castlevania title, but okay. Lenny the Shark, thank you. Now I have the image of Bob waddling around with a group of grunts barely fitting into their armor. Oh.
Oh, God.
Well, he'd be an easy target, at least.
Oh, dear.
Would he have a melee weapon, or would he be with a gun? What would it be? I don't know. I can't see Bob with a gun. That would just be very strange reporting on the news. Large man coming out of fast food joint shoots up car park or something. Where would he go to kill those Republicans he hates? But would he use a gun? I don't know. I don't think so. Why are we even contemplating the death of people via Bob? I don't know. It's just too grisly for me.
I say nothing.
Yes. We will instead keep going because now our brains are fried from thinking about Bob too much.
This stuff has been the lifeblood of the military sci-fi genre ever since Starship Troopers. Except there, the Space Marine guys were up against an enemy whose collective...
Didn't Star Wars become before Starship Troopers? Wasn't that a... Never mind, okay.
Starship Troopers, I think, came before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe Starship Troopers like early 90s.
I think I was referring to the book. It was by Heinlein, that's right. This is way back in 1959. Yeah.
Okay, so 1997 is when Starship Troopers came out.
Yeah, there was no Star Wars book or play before the 70s, so it was just the film, and then that's when everything became popular. But Starship Troopers, I know, came from a past of actual sci-fi authors, so...
hive mind makeup made them even more faceless and anti-individualist, so it kind of balanced out. But in Halo, look who fights for the Covenant. Big guys, little guys, creatures from tons of different worlds.
Oh, they're diverse. Therefore,
What
they're good.
I mean,
Yeah,
look at all these
that's what he said.
dudes
He's like,
it's like
he said, one thing I noticed was that the Covenant is far more diverse than the Spartans, and Spartans are fascist. Therefore, the Covenant's good because they're diverse. Do you know the history of the Covenant, MovieBob? They're not not voluntarily there. Okay.
They have slave races, basically.
like-
they have a caste system.
Those
It's
little
bad.
grunt guys, they're literal slaves, MovieBob.
Yeah. They're like
They're not
bugs.
there voluntarily.
Over there, those slaves are diverse.
The slaves are diverse. Wow,
Yeah,
there's so many different kinds of slaves. So much more progressive.
Essentially what MovieBob just said. It's essentially what MovieBob just said. Oh, look at the how diverse the
Slave
Covenant is.
population.
Isn't that fantastic? The Covenant is made up of literal slaves enslaved to a theocracy.
Wow,
MovieBob.
Calvin,
Yeah, MovieBob.
I'm really impressed with this plantation you got here. You got slaves of all kinds. You got Haitians over there. You got some Dominicans. That's amazing. It's like a menagerie in here. Like, thanks, MovieBob.
Let's imagine if like a Christian cult. Imagine if a Christian cult came in and enslaved a bunch of people. MovieBob said, "Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic because at least all the slaves are diverse."
Look at that.
Awesome.
They have short people. They have tall people. They have blue people.
Tell you what,
I want to point out that they're not inclusive enough to allow humans. They straight up wanted to genocide humans without giving them a chance. So inclusive. No,
They want to
no,
destroy the entire
diverse.
world, universe, galaxy thing. They want to blow everything up, and they think that it's a good thing. They're on an intergalactic jihad.
So MovieBob, like the Covenant, likes diversity and slaves, and he also likes genocide.
real progressive plantation you got here. You got black men and women working out here. I'm impressed. Well done.
See,
Not just the men, but the women, the children too.
this is him taking it seriously. We've heard it actually say the words of related to genocide on Twitter last year. So the writing's on the wall. We just never bothered to put two and two together whether he actually would think this way outside of the context of a fictional video game universe.
Yeah, we don't have to just... Why is it that MovieBob is so far on the left that he's swung right around to being on the right with genocide comment?
It's like, hey, these murderers and genociders aren't so bad.
They're so diverse.
Look how diverse they are. They're diverse, therefore they can't be bad, right?
Hey, look, these people committing genocide and war crimes, they're diverse. They can't be so bad.
Hey, look, this army's great because look how diverse the slaves are.
Oh my goodness!
Sweet circle.
Okay, that was probably the worst take in the video so far.
Worse. We haven't even made it to the worst take ever.
Oh no!
How does it get worse from? Wow, slavery is good as long as it's diverse. How does it get worse from there, Glib?
Oh, you'll see. But it doesn't get worse in terms of consequences of that kind of thinking. It gets worse in terms of banality.
Well, this is where we always ask: did this guy even play the game? And if he did, what was he looking at?
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah,
said,
I agree.
Get genocided. At least my killers were diverse.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, it's very progressive of you to get stabbed by somebody who's rainbow skin and armor and religious purposes to activate the Halo rings. Good job.
Now, if they were called the Covenant Republic, then he'd want them all dead because they'd be evil. So,
yeah, it's a theocracy. Excellent. Well done.
Throwing republicanism? No, you must be eradicated.
It's they're all equally slaves. Oh no, they're not equally slaves, are they? Because they've got a caste system.
Yeah, they have a caste system. Essentially, it's the sooner you join the Covenant, the better you're treated. So if you join the Covenant in the beginning, you're treated better than someone who's in a species who joined the Covenant later. Which is why the grunts are treated so badly because they join the Covenant very, very late. When I say join, I mean kind of like conquer.
Yeah, they were conquered.
Brought into the Covenant, forced into the Covenant.
All right, here's Nathan Brake.
These genociders aren't so bad, guys.
They just because they're like the Covenant has more in common with the Roman Empire than the friggin' Spartans.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Because the Roman Empire utilized auxiliary troops from all ends of their empire, depending on what their expertise was. The reward was citizenship in Rome on top of your pay after a certain amount of time served.
Well, get this: the human side is literally the United Nations. It doesn't get more diverse than the United Nations Space Command, and everybody comes from any place on the planet. Humanity has united and has gone to the stars, like Star Trek kind of thing, and they're colonizing planets, and then they have first contact, and it's not our fault that they want to kill us. Humanity did not do anything wrong in the Halo universe. The Halo universe is not an immoral place for humans. It's not split. It's not like there's evil humans necessarily, usually, even though you have Oni or whatever, and they're little bit secret. It's exactly like the Federation with Star Trek and Section 7 or whatever it is. The secret
31.
Section whatever.
31.
Section the data's password. So the whole point is that everybody's united. So this is just another sign, I think, that MovieBob doesn't like people and would rather be on the alien jihad.
Or, he just didn't pay attention to the story.
All right, I've got like a dozen or so super chats to go through, so bear with me, guys. Nathan Brake, no, I am super chatting because I love Halo. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate your passion, and we like to be fixed if we make any errors, but I think lots of us have played Halo, so we know a little bit about what's going on. It's trying to interpret Bob's terms that are just hurting us right now. But thanks for tuning in. The God of Gravy, great nickname. I like that. Bob's gun of choice is a spud gun, and considering your name is God of Gravy, I can see where you're coming from. So, yeah.
Like it.
Here's a lollipop, Lord of Agehau. Bob would jerk it to the grunt breeding chambers. Ooh. Did they have grunt breeding chambers? I thought they were all slaves.
Oh, this is hilarious.
I guess there's perks to being part of the Covenant. You get breeding chambers.
Okay, great stuff there, Commissar.
Do you just get rewarded based on some like on terms of service, you get a more attractive thing.
Oh dear.
Does that mean they have sexual slavery?
Yes.
Probably.
Oh, they're so diverse.
Here's
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep
I
going.
imagine Bob would love living in the world of altered carbon.
Oh. Yeah, that's another fun jump into the world of what to do with your sexuality when you're in another body. Yeah. Okay. Ahem. Hex Harper, thank you, sir. The aliens in XCOM were diverse too, Bob. Yeah, you know what? They were. That was their role, was to unite the world and then eat them all.
Yep. The Borg, what a diverse race.
Yeah. They're all the same, except when they get absorbed.
Yeah. I guess like it works with Bob because he likes having a collective hive mind mentality.
So long as he gets to tell everyone what to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mark in 3D, thank you again, sir. Love the Huff It points. Guys, stop it. Robert skipped the history lessons. I don't know. I think he was there. He was just writing his own versions of it. There's no other way you can get it wrong that badly. How could you know about Sparta if you didn't actually get someone talk to you about ancient Greece or what happened 2,000 years ago? Like, you would have at least paid attention to, the women were in charge of this and the men were in charge of that, and they fought in the Greco-Persian War, da-da-da. Like, okay, great. Oh, by the way, they're fascists. It's like, no, that would never happen. So he invented that part. Jake the Surgeon, thanks again, sir. They are literally genociding an entire race for religion. Yes, that's true. They're conquerors, and they are genociders. That's true.
Well, most of these people have a weird obsession with Islamic culture. So
isn't that strange? I thought they didn't like religion too much, but apparently they love it when their religions are murderous and completely genocidal. Yeah, it's strange.
They just don't like anybody being racist against anybody, and they see like any kind of thing against another culture, specifically like if they're like a minority culture in the West.
Unless you're Catholic.
Yeah.
So even if you're
like
Judeo-Christian, it's still, unless you're Catholic, no, it doesn't count.
Yeah. I think Alex Shaw remarked, kind of mockingly said, I don't believe God is going to be respond to many prayers that say, please, will you smite the Muslims and the gays? And trying to mock what he thinks that we are.
Well, regardless of your religious disposition, it's always sad to see one grouper mentality who wants to eliminate the other, regardless of the reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's another Jake the Surgeon. Thank you, sir. Bob the Secular One is on the side of a theocratic society that enslaves several different races. Progressives make no sense. It's hard to swallow some days, as we heard with AOC that Glib was just mentioning. It doesn't seem as if they can combine their ideas into some collective philosophy. It's just every week it's something different. Like we're going to take down our presidents because apparently they were racists, as opposed to just being a sign of the times that they were slaves at the time and they were doing the best they can with them and having business and treating them well. Not to say they were saints and angels, but what are you going to do with all these people's lives? So let's tear down their statues, even though there are vice presidents and presidents of such stature and such importance of our history and the formation of your entire country. It's kind of frightening when I saw that. Because if they were taking down statues of Sir John A. Macdonald, you could surely bet a lot of people would be pissed off. And the reason why we love Sir John A. is he was a drunk man. So obviously a drunk man helped form Confederation in Canada. It just makes a lot more sense that way. So, okay, Agent Yokai Zero. Look at all the different types of bodies in here. Yeah, I guess if you're if your opponent is being slaughtered, and you get to look at all the innards, you go, hey, look at all this different colored blood and organs. Yeah, they were really diverse people.
Yeah.
Lenny the Shark. The Elites partially glassed the Grunts' homeworld for revolting. Yeah. Covenant is pretty deadly.
So diverse, guys. So diverse.
They're the bad guys until they're not.
I guess glassing any surface would be kind of a uniform thing. It's like everything's melted. So it wouldn't be diverse anymore. You'd just be all a bunch of melted hydrocarbons on the ground.
Yep.
Demonic Beast Megatron 94. Okay. Slavery, militaristic theocracies, and mass genocides are okay so long as it's diverse. If the Nazis were racially diverse, would far lefties defend the Holocaust? Those Jews seemed awfully privileged. Oh.
That's a hot take.
That's a big.
That's a hot
one.
take and a half.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one. But thanks for that big, detailed series of ideas there. And we're back on Lollipop Lord of Ahegao. Literal breeding programs to fill loss of troops. I guess once you conquer a race, you want to keep them going. And yeah, you got to have breeding programs. Kind of like livestock.
In a horrible kind of way.
In a horrible militaristic death kind of way, yeah. And finally, Joe Crazy, thank you, sir. Bob is for diversity so long as they are in chains and bring him McDonald's. That's probably fairly accurate, yeah. Probably chained to a McDonald's fryer, deep fryer, and you just have the deep fryer in chains as well, so it never leaves the the oil. Oh, why am I thinking of these ideas? Oh. Okay, gentlemen.
Because Bob is so awful, we try to go to other less awful topics.
Being chained to a deep fryer, yeah. Oh boy. Okay, we're back. We're back on the video. Thank you, gentlemen. We are back. We are now cleared of super chats, so we can get back on our video. All right. Just rewind it a few seconds.
Every color of the spectrum. I mean, just look at all these dudes for a minute. It's like Reaches being invaded by a Benetton ad from space. In terms of diversity, Covenant makes the Planeteers look like the KKK. And
my goodness!
Wow. What? He just combined.
I'm in the KKK. I'm Sergeant Johnson.
So it really is diversity. He really is just all of this. If it's diverse, it's good. If it's not diverse, it's bad, evil fascist.
But it's not even human diversity.
The context. It doesn't matter the context. The Covenant takes slaves, but they're diverse, therefore they're good. It's not just a joke anymore. It's actually confirmed now.
He compared.
The university has people from around the world united. It's the United Nations. Was it Space Command?
Okay.
Are these guys all like humans? They're not diverse.
I want Sergeant Johnson.
I want you to be aware.
Hey, Chief, where my clan hood at, Chief?
He compared the villain of a shooting video game of a space opera to a children's environmental program to the KKK, guys.
That's pretty insane.
How do you make these jumps?
He's off his rocker.
Yeah,
right.
Like when he literally says, Game of Thrones is less like Tolkien and more like an edgy version of Shrek. He just makes weird jumps and analogies like this.
Okay, I think we're good. We're going to keep on going.
Yep.
My brain hasn't processed this analogy yet, but I'm going to keep.
Completely subjective.
It's so strange. I'm just like, what is this going? How do you come to these logical conclusions? I don't know how.
Yeah, I think what we've paused on is perfectly appropriate for our reaction to what he just said.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks, Joe. Another super chat. Yes, they are genocidal maniacs that glass planets every other Tuesday, but they are diverse, and that's what matters most. I don't know. I think this is parody at this point. I don't think Bob actually believes this. I don't think you could do this.
I think he does. I think he does. I think he's crazy enough to believe this.
Okay, if he makes a joke that I can't wrap my brain around, it's just an analogy, I think he's kidding around. I think he's just exaggerating.
I'm not sure about that. Not sure that checks out.
It could be his persona.
Bob's MO.
Think about it. This is his second thing where he makes money from the Escapist. He's like, all right, I'm having a second income stream. I'm going to just keep playing it up as I did my first income stream. I'm going to have fun. And that's what I'm going to be known for. I'm the crazy MovieBob guy. I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm going to say a bunch of zany things. I'm going to throw in politics and eating and travel and tourism. I'm going to do whatever I want. This is where I'm thinking Bob is at. Because I'm having more time trying to relate to Bob as a human than I am trying to understand what the hell he's talking about.
Do you think he's just like unintentionally a terrible person?
No, I don't think so. I think he has very strong biases, which we all have, but we're not crazy about it. Like, I can say some crazy stuff about Italian wine and Italian cheese, but I'm not going to insult the Portuguese or the French because I know they make great cheese and wine too. But I'm not going to start saying, well, Italian cheese is like manna from heaven, and Portuguese cheese is like dead Jews on World War II, whatever. It's like, what do you, whoa, slow down. Like, stop.
Italian wine is like the sun.
When you don't see it, I didn't think of anything. When you don't see it, you don't believe it exists.
These analogies have gone in like 12 different directions.
We have an analogy with an analogy with an analogy.
Yeah, it's a bit strange because we have to use an analogy to compare to understand where Bob is coming from, and we just can't do it. It's always about some fascist regime or I don't know, racist. It's always extremes. It's never like, oh yeah, it's like comparing jelly bellies to jelly beans. It's like, kind of similar, but not really.
So dumb.
These are the bad guys. Yeah, I know, all these different species come from different worlds because they were conquered and converted by the Covenant, so it's mainly diverse.
So he knows. So
Okay.
he knows the only reason why they're diverse.
Wait a second.
It's because they conquer people.
It's been confirmed yet again.
No, this is bad. This is bad. If he knows this, then everything he just says is his rationalizing why it's good, which means he actually believes this. Because if he didn't know this,
oh my gosh,
then he would have been kidding around.
Yes,
He would be at false pretenses. But they weren't false pretenses.
That's why. Yes, they were conquered and enslaved, and that's why they're here. But still, it's diverse now, so it's okay.
Okay, this is
Good.
crazy.
No.
Now we know Bob is nuts.
Fucking hell.
What
Yeah,
you needed this video to know Bob was nuts.
Well, when he explains himself, now we know. This is crazy, guys. I don't know if I want to keep going. This is ridiculous. Because now it's just a crazy person saying stupid shit.
It's only 5 minutes long.
Look how much he said in 30 seconds. He's
insane.
He embellished the fact that conquering theocracy was glassing planets and having breeding chambers for all the grunts so they can make more grunts for war, the war machine. Now he's aware that they are conquerors. He's like, this is fine. This is okay. I know this. This is a good thing. Because they conquered a lot of planets and they have diverse quotas in their army ranks.
Ugh.
It's disgusting. This is science fiction. This is fantasy. You sort of go, oh, this is kind of weird and wild. And Bob's going, no, this is good. These are good people. The
Good slaves.
The good guys are the bad guys. It's like, Bob, you're wrong. You're
Bob, are you a villain?
categorically wrong. I don't even.
Are you diabeto?
It's very frightening to have this sort of mentality. I still think he's joking. I still think he's pushing a persona. Like this is a joke to him. So he's pushing a persona because it's a form of entertainment or whatever. And he's trying to get away with a joke, and the people who are listening are going, Bob, you're insane. And he's hoping that no one listens because he's just saying all these crazy words.
Jeez, let's hope so.
There's no way anyone can believe this with a straight face. Okay.
Let's
see.
keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay, 2 more super chats. Let's keep going. Lail Pop, Lord of I can't pronounce that word. Gal. Smut reached. I was just pretending to be a tard. Yeah. I don't know. Lenny the Shark. Breaking news. Bob movie gains the Infinity Stones. All Republicans reported as missing. Yeah, gee.
Yep.
That's probably what will happen, yeah. Lieutenant Colonel Tanya Von de Gersha, thank you again. He is not, this is what he is. I have faith. I have optimism in humanity. And just because he's able to speak very quickly with lots of words doesn't mean he actually believes these things. So, anyway, let's sadly keep on going.
Yes, into the MovieBob.
A slave army, which is of course supposed to remind us in part of another famous multinational slave army that went to war with another bunch of guys called Spartans. But come on, how many people actually play Halo for the context? Think about how this looks with...
Okay, see, that's a joke.
Wait, but if we don't, then why are you bringing it up?
Unfortunately, I don't think he's joking, because School of Movies, when they analyzed 300, treated that seriously. And they're less crazy than MovieBob.
Was he trying to make it funny, or was he actually just being ironic? Like, which one was it?
I think that he's actually serious. That basically let me think. Okay. That basically it's because they are a diverse culture going up against a fascist monochromatic that is touristic.
Monochromatic being black and white.
All that is race. Yeah.
Here's a joke. See, the reason why I think this way about Bob is we have Major Lee, and we know Major Lee is playing a character. We know that.
Major Lee is an idiot.
Like, he admitted that. So I get it. So every time we listen to Major Lee, we sort of tongue-in-cheek, all right, fine, whatever, ha, 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 funny. But it's still crazy. So we have fun with it because we're not there to take it seriously. In this case, it's so ridiculous. And yes, it's a bit more highbrow. It's a bit more intellectual because he's using these references and he knows some of the references he's talking about, and he admits to that. But if you keep saying these comparisons and that's it, then you're like, wait, Bob, that's not a point. You're just making the comparison between the Persians and they had slaves because 2,000 years ago, of course, and the Covenant and they had slaves, and you're not disparaging what you just said about them having slaves and being better. You just made a reference. And you're like, okay, and that's good, right? Or is it bad? Tell me. So you're led to believe he thinks this way because he's aware of it.
And he doesn't disabuse us of it, like on his Twitter. Twitter's like a minefield, and it's honestly worse than the...
Dunn, you're breaking up.
Yeah, you're totally cutting out there.
Sorry. But yeah, his Twitter is worse. Like, his Twitter is a minefield of insanity, from what I've seen of it. Like, he says similar things on Twitter and just blares all this across the internet. It's insane.
All right, let's try and keep going here. I'm sort of struggling to listen because
let's just knock him out.
Yeah.
Viewed in the macro, militaristic culture visibly pretext on submission of individual self to quasi-fascist collective equals good. Multiple races and species working together to a common goal.
Multiple races. He just doesn't know anything about it because he described the Covenant. He's like, oh, slaves or whatever. They're just submit. That's the Covenant. That's not us. It's an army of human beings that are volunteering, or even if they were being conscripted, to go fight for the very survival of mankind. But that's not what MovieBob wants, obviously.
Because fascist is always bad, and slavery is less bad. Is that it? Therefore, it's good.
I have no idea where he's coming from with this. I think that he thinks that all human governments are fascist or something. The United. Anyway.
Goal equals evil. I mean, when the skinheads and neo-Nazi bigots in general talk down about how diversity is bad and you shouldn't mix the races, isn't this usually the basis of their crazy argument that mixed societies or mud races or whatever they call them tend to be these destructive, unclean hordes, while pure cultures emphasizing sameness and conformity are superior?
Okay, what the hell is he talking? What is
Yeah. Out of Don't you guys love when you're playing Halo 1, and then there's the Australian voice guy, and then you're led by the black sergeant, and then you have to go to New Mombasa, and then it's like, what are you talking about? What's the ethnic composition of Harvest? Like, what's this planet over here that's a new planet that we settled on that's full of mixed race people by the United Nations? Like,
okay, this is
MovieBob is terrible at reviewing things.
Let's say they're
terrible.
neo-Nazis and white supremacists. Yes, they're there. Are they slaughtering people? I mean, they could think whatever they like. I don't care.
As far as we are aware, as far as like I'm aware, there have been no like huge like mass killings like there were in the 1800s. There have been like in the last few weeks with the George Floyd death, like that has spiked the number of people of color and other people who have died because of violence. But as far as I'm aware, there haven't been like concentration camp style things that these guys are running. If there were, they would be arrested, because even that wouldn't be let fly. Like even like some stuff is being let fly, but that kind of thing, no. That's some serial killer level crap right there.
We're talking about actions and opinions. If you think you like a race and hate another, it doesn't bother me. When you want to go and genocide an entire planet, I think there's a big difference in scale and action of like it's
just a bit.
There is zero racism between the humans in Halo. Unless you can go find some in some sort of book or something that came out after Halo 4 or something like that. I don't recall any race mentioned ever. It's all humanity has already gotten to the point where we're all on the same page. They wanted to avoid that. And I like that.
Even if there was an ethno-state or ethno-organization, you'd be like, okay, they're still striving to survive. They're the little guy trying to get out of the hole against this massive empire that's coming to crush them. It doesn't matter if the empire is made up of other cultures and whatever. They're there to destroy you. They are the enemy. They are bad. They could be a whole bunch of Aryan, blonde, blue-eyed, whatever. I don't care. They're still the enemy. It doesn't matter what shape they come in. They're the bad guys. So what is the big deal about them being diverse? I don't understand it.
I think I was just going to say, like, it's interesting, like, he said, like, all of the people are, like, he used the orcs versus, like, normative people, and it's just like, oh my gosh, why are you doing this? Orcs are not are corrupted elves. They are not just an inherent race of bad things. They are genetic experiments.
And I don't know what MovieBob is concerned with. I mean, the humans are just as diverse as the Covenant, racially speaking.
They're not big, small, blue, orange, green.
The thing is, exactly. It's like the only reason why MovieBob is complaining is because the human forces are all human. That's it. That's why he's angry.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
I guess it's so weird that they equate other like races in this world with alien races on other planets.
We're talking the difference between we're talking about the difference between races and species, right? So humans have one species, and then there's different races amongst us. And then we're talking about species being diverse by virtue of them being on different planets and being born in different solar systems and what have you. Yes, people from different species are different by their very makeup. And
being conscripted through force.
There's the ugly part of that as well. Yeah.
They have no other option.
But he's saying because they're more diverse on a genetic level, meaning in a whole other species, a whole other life form, therefore they're better, as opposed to, well, humans are just human. We don't have any other offshoots or generations of variations rather of humanity. There's no other like Homo sapien 2, what have you,
or like how we evolved from Cro-Magnon men and Neanderthals.
Maybe he'd like us better if we did have Cro-Magnon men still around. I don't know. It's a strange argument to say because the aliens are by virtue different. and there's a lot of them in comparison to humans who are just one. It's just like, dude, like this is taking racism and just leaping a galaxy away or a solar system away and saying, well, aliens are much more diverse. They have a different biome and genome and everything else, so therefore they're better. It's like, wait, why? It's taking the idea of, I don't know, leftist politics and just going to retard levels in a science fiction story. But it's not in a science fiction story. This is his interpretation of what's happening. I don't want to say he's crazy. I don't want to say...
But he's crazy.
But he's crazy.
I don't want to say he's stupid either, because he obviously thinks about these things. He's just so warped in his politics, he can't see anything else.
Okay, so let's go with highly biased. We can all agree on that.
Yes,
highly biased.
yes, that's a good way of putting it. Thank you.
Like biased to like an insanely high degree.
Like one eye is completely blind, and the other one has this very small filter, and it has to be, a certain color to him, or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Man, this is depressing. Holy shit! Let's keep going.
Yeah, there are people who think this way. Great.
To accuse Bungie of promoting fascism, especially since
Bungie is not promoting fascism, you retard. What the hell is wrong with you? It's a video game company. It made one of the most popular first-person shooters ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're just about there. We're right about to get to the awesome part.
Yeah. Oh, great. So
let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. The weirdest part is like school.
Why are we continuing this?
Because we hate. Because
you have to get to the best part. We have to get to the best part. Come on, hit play.
Okay. I'll say what I have to say for later.
I had to stand up. I'm sorry, guys. I just.
Just to stand up.
Okay.
MovieBob.
So.
You're killing me, Larry.
So this weirdest thing, like these people think this way about like even Star Wars. They're like, why is there so much Nazi, First Order Nazi toys around? I can't get my Mary Sue Ray figure. I would love a Ray pop.
Yeah,
nope, we aren't really selling those. We're selling the masked stormtrooper stuff.
Well, what was happening was that there was a vote on the Star Wars Twitter or StarWars.com where people voted that they liked the Empire over the Rebellion, and then the internet exploded. It's like, oh my god, look at all these Nazis.
Yeah, well, even that, he just brings it out and says, just when he's buying toys, he's buying friggin' toys, and he's like, I can't even find a Ray thing. There's all these Nazi stuff being pandered to kids, and it's like, kids don't think of the Empire as Nazis. They aren't even Nazis. They're just red shirts that get shot.
All right,
you haven't even made Kylo Ren cool enough.
Let's fucking finish this bitch.
I got 3 super chats. We're going to keep on going, gentlemen. Nathan Brake, actually the Covenant is more like the Islamic empires, not the Romans. Romans were more tolerant. Romans were conquerors.
Yeah, I was saying.
Yeah.
It's intergalactic space jihad that amounts to a misappropriation of an ancient culture's actual facts. They think that this great journey is going to result in some sort of revelation, and it's going to blow up the entire world because it's just designed to stop Gravemind. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Here's another.
Stop them.
Here's another one from Nathan Brake. Humanity, by the time of the first contact in 2525, had 800 worlds. By 2553, hundreds of billions of lives were lost. But yeah, aliens are good. Thanks for the little history lesson there, Nathan.
They might have wiped hundreds of billions of lives off the face of the universe. At least they're diverse.
What happened to Bob to make him like this is my question.
He was isolated heavily as a child, found video games. Video games were so much better than reality, and reality will never meet up to video games or whatever. and now he just resents everybody for not like catching up to him and being an intellectual genius or whatever and figuring out.
MovieBob had one bad day. He had one bad day, and he reached the same moral crossroads that Batman, the Joker reached, and he went the same route as the Joker instead of the one that Batman went.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Here's Lollipop, Lord of Hegao again. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name at all, but I keep trying. I'm very glad I suggested this. He never improved. It's kind of scary because you can see the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he does it under the guise of fiction. And it's like, he's just reviewing. He's just talking about themes and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's like, no, he actually thinks this way.
It's
scary.
So insane. Yeah, it's scary. That there are people that think like this. There are people that like have these weird associations in their brain rather than
like
this
is he attracted to women like him, or does he like have to find like the strangest, most diverse person on the planet and say, oh, you're beautiful, you've got every gene known to humanity, you got every phenotype being expressed, you're brown, white, yellow, green, purple, all these other colors of the rainbow.
So I guess he's like David Benioff, and he likes ambiguously brown women.
Is that it?
Fetishises them to no end.
Maybe. Was that the? I remember someone did a study. They took all the races of the planet. And they combined like what the hair color would be, the skin color, the eye color, like all the size, the build, the shape, the weight. It was like this Asian African mix or something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess.
Keep on going.
Let's get to the best part.
Do see of Spartan creation does cast the whole thing in an air of morally ambiguous gray, and holy crap! Wait, can we go back to that? Did his eyes just turn blue? So hold up. You got this young guy with the conspicuously well-shaved head getting turned into the ultimate human weapon, and you know it worked because his eyes are blue now? Bungie, that's some...
That's
oh
it.
My god. No, oh my fucking god.
You win, guys. That's the most cringe part of this entire thing for me.
Yeah.
So wait a second. This is how the program works, right? You get injected with the serum, your body changes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm pretty sure that they cut the hair for like I don't know,
military reasons.
Yeah.
Yes, because the U.S. military has hair strictures.
Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket? It starts off with everyone getting their head shaved. It's a thing that happens, MovieBob.
It's like, okay, so my thing was when I first saw this review, because I thought it was hilarious, was the guy that you hired as an actor is brown-eyed, right? Like he's got dark eyes. And clearly the director of the commercial wanted to differentiate. He wanted to be like, oh, now we know that the stuff is going in his body, so why don't we change his eye color? Well, there's only 3 eye colors really that you can choose from: brown, green, and blue. And what's the color opposite of brown? Blue. They were not thinking about the connotations of Nazis because, unlike Bob, most people don't think like the History Channel. Like, and Nazis are all around them. Like this KKK, like that's not, I don't know if MovieBob lives in KKK country or something, and he was just like the nerd that got bullied by shaved metalhead Nazis or whatever. I don't know what his backstory is like that, but
I think he's from New York. He has a really reach. He's from New York, which is like a really diverse place. So it's like, I guess that's might be an explanation. I'm not sure.
Why does he immediately assume that blue eyes are a connotation of
Aryan? Because the not.
Yeah,
like
I follow that, but why is that his go-to immediately?
Because he's biased.
I'm thinking it from a genetics perspective. When you have a phenotype express itself, and you're just being injected with something which is probably some form of gene therapy, that your recessive alleles are expressing themselves, or your dominant alleles are going away. So that's what I think is going on here. Now in the chat, someone was saying that it's just a flash; it doesn't stay. It just appears blue and goes away. So it could be like a reaction to your body that is doing something, and then it just says, okay, we got to go back to our baseline, and then that gets expressed again. So it's Could be that. It could be many things, but it's just a visual flair. It's not a physical thing that sticks.
Hell, my eyes are blue, Bob. Does that make me? My eyes are like seriously blue. Does that make me a master race fascist now?
I used to have blue eyes, and now I have my eyes darkened as I grew older.
And then you took an arrow from me.
I have gotten less Aryan over time. I've become less fascist.
Hey, you know who else? You know who else likes really blue eyes? Japan. It's like a thing in Japan.
We all know what Japan was up to in World War II.
You know who really likes blue eyes? The Fremen. They love them. So they're a religious cult. So
for whatever reason, like blue eyes skip both of my parents, and yet both of them have brown eyes, and yet I have blue eyes, and my sis and 3 of my 4 sisters have blue eyes. Only one of my sisters has brown eyes out of all of us.
Oh, it's just more proof that we're just a bunch of white supremacists. We have recessive alleles. It's like it's so stupid because, and I was saying to chat, like somebody mentioned the hazel eyes and stuff. I understand. I'm saying that the combinations that arise from these, from the alleles that are available. There's only so many versions of it. It's limited. So it's just to me, none of this is diegetic because it's a commercial to advertise a real live action version of Halo. I'm not even sure that the story people approved this. It might just be something that Microsoft decided to do. So to me, it's just nuts to, be like, oh, an eye color change from this color to this color. The one that sticks out, that blue is also the other color of everything else in the scene. That's like the major color theme. So, would it be better if the eyes went red? It'd probably be less believable and more noticeable. Mm-hmm. It's just a little detail.
Also, it would very much disconnect with the character because I know that like they were originally thinking about giving Voldemort red eyes, but
right, like the way that it's written in the story.
But they decided in the movie to change it to Ralph Fiennes' normal eyes.
Why didn't they do the black eye, green eye, or whatever that Tyrion has in Game of Thrones? Oh, because it's aesthetically unpleasing. Nobody wants to look at that. Yeah. They don't. People actually didn't want to do the makeup for cutting his nose off and all these different things.
Contact lenses as well. I'm comfortable with them, but not a lot of people are comfortable with contact lenses.
Mm-hmm, yeah. There's so many reasons. But MovieBob is the kind of person, and this is why I illustrate it. He's going to go to it's a Nazi thing immediately. That's what's crazy about it. It's not like, oh, here's an explanation or here's an explanation. By the way, none of us have the answer. So everybody's speculating. He's speculating. We're speculating. We don't have the person in front of us to actually tell us why the eyes turn blue for a second. But it's just so funny because it's like, the same effect could have been white, but it would have looked like the M83 music video for whatever city. I don't remember what it is. I don't know. But whatever. There's a music video where their eyes turn white when they activate their powers. It's like, oh, is that Aryan supremacy? No, it's not, because it's not blue colored. His blue color eyes were liked by the Nazis. Like, he just defaults to anything that is remotely related to anything to do with Nazis, KKK, fascism, or white supremacy. He's going to read into that where it may or may not exist. It's like
normal person goes, oh my god, look at these brutal experiments they're going through. Their fucking eyes are glowing. Holy shit! Look at these insane things. And then movie always goes, Nazi. Yep. Oh my god, Nazi.
Well, hey, MovieBob, what's your opinion on Dragon Ball Z? Well, Super Saiyans are just Aryans and blah, 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 blah. Like, Jesus Christ, man. It was made by Akira Toriyama or whatever. He's like, yeah, but, Japanese in World War II were... Like, holy shit, dude. Maybe it's just the juxtaposition of black to gold and black to blue. It's because it's colors. Like, sorry. What are they going to do? What, Super Saiyans with green eyes and orange hair? It's not...
Actually, the funny story about the whole Saiyan getting a gold hair thing, it was actually a method of laziness. So, because when Goku has all black hair, it takes a long time to ink that, and it's more expensive. It's a lot less expensive to draw Goku with clear blonde hair because it's a black and white comic. So it saved them a lot of time and a lot of money to give him blonde hair.
I can understand that.
That's why they have blonde hair.
All right.
Dragon Ball Z comment along with the juxtaposition just reminds me of his Joker video where he says Joker's like one of those matchup T-shirts where it's like Tony Montana with Vegeta's face, and it's like, is it supposed to be mirroring or ironic of the Vegeta's Dark Prince thing with the Tony Montana coming into America and stuff like that, and they're like juxtapahoo. Like, oh, Bob, I hate you.
Okay, we got 4 super chats, and we're 1 minute away to completion. So I'm pretty proud of ourselves here, guys, that we didn't quit. And I'm still.
He has not killed us.
I'm still not laying down on the ground. So.
Chat seems to like it. So.
Chat is scaring me right now, but that's fine. Joe Crazy, thanks, sir. A Bungie meeting room. How are we going to promote fascism today, boys? The world won't conquer itself. Yeah, let's leave all the political ramifications of a video game developer making a popular first-person shooter game. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
People are insane.
Here's Nathan Brake again. Thanks. They also shave the head because they cut the head open and give the biological and machine augmentation. Oh yeah, so it's not just a biological injection. They do other things to the body. That's right. Nathan Brake again.
And so are cancer victims skinheads by their logic?
Oh yeah,
I guess so. Hey, you're going through cancer treatments, aren't you? You're a Nazi.
Oh,
you didn't ask for this. You didn't want this, but there you are.
You're a Nazi. Oh my god.
You're a fascist. What?
It's like, hey, you an Essie son.
I own property?
You
what? I'm Italian?
You choose this, but you're fighting diversity, so you're a Nazi.
I have a strange desire to give to the state? What?
And like, I feel like he's trying to make the argument that, Bungie were doing this because they made the aliens diverse so that they could put a subconscious seed of diversity.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's all going according to plan. Bungie really was a white supremacist, even though their second most beloved character, aside from Chief, is blue, and then the other second favorite is black. So great job there. And by the way, what race is John 117 again? Does anybody know? Has anybody seen his face in the games?
Oh, he's not in the games, but in the actually, no. In Halo 4, they reveal part of his face. He's white.
Halo 4 is not canon.
In comics and in novels, he is described as white, and also in the short films as well, produced by Bungie.
Any of the content that's made by the original character, the original writers and directors, I doubt it enumerates on what his race is, because he's supposed to be a green suit of armor. Your Chief.
No, if you go and watch, what it's called now, because there's expanded material that specifically relates to young John. So there's
I'm saying he could be anybody, and it doesn't matter to me because he's just a voice in some green armor. Exactly. I remember when the Halo 1 thing, when he takes off his helmet, and then if you actually look in to see what's underneath his helmet, it's just another helmet. Perfect. Yeah, you can say he's white, as Steve Downes is white, but I mean, you can't show me in the games proper from Halo 1 to reach what race he is, because it's not relevant.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty blank as a character, so...
Well, he's supposed to
the
be.
point.
Yeah, as someone said in The Fall of Reach, he was described.
Yeah, but that's a book that's written by somebody else.
And that's the point of a lot of these kinds of video games, to have a blank slate protagonist that you can mold to your own will. That's kind of the case with Star Wars: The Old Republic,
Shepard,
Halo, Shepard.
And by the way, Halo 2, fucking one of the main characters is played by Keith David, right?
Yeah.
So you're playing as a Sangeli alien for half the game. It's very, very dumb of a white supremacist to give you the opposite perspective and then give you a nuanced result from the
No,
conflict.
but he hasn't played Halo 2. He's only played Reach.
Oh, right. But this is him saying combat evolved. So I guess he's just referencing that, but he hasn't played it.
Yeah, he's talking about Reach, but the title is Combat Evolved. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's another from Nathan Brake. Thank you again, sir. You know who likes Blue Eyes 2? Sato Kaiba? That's not a reference to Halo. I thought you were the Halo expert here, sir. What are you talking about?
I think it's
his favorite card is the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah, that's a great joke.
Kaiba,
Yeah,
Seto
very
Kaiba.
good.
Yeah, Seto Kaiba.
Damn it!
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I can't get that joke.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
And then Yu-Gi-Oh says I play some other random shit. Here's a chess piece.
Dark
You
Magician
activated
versus
my
Blue
spell
Eyes.
card. And my
You
trap
activated
card.
my racism card.
Oh, I love this. I love that somebody actually besides me has watched Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, admittedly, like I'm kind of ashamed that I like Yu-Gi-Oh, but
I only watched 1 or 2 episodes. That was like, that is enough for my lifetime.
You got to watch the animation that LiteratureDevil showed on the Loading Crew stream. That
Oh my god!
that was amazing. But yeah, we can continue. I think you keep getting super chats.
Stop
This
it!
is the super chat.
Stop the
stream.
super chats.
Slow down. Spud doesn't want your money. He wants to leave.
I want to have a life after this. That's what I want.
Let
Too
me
bad.
go.
Don't get
And
my life
then
after
super
this.
chat's like, no, you'll never leave us, Smud. Keep answering
Throwing
us.
pennies at me, just keep giving him more. It's like, stop it, please.
Feed him until he's MovieBob size. Then they will fight.
Jake the Surgeon, thank you again. Let's assume Führer Bob is correct. What is
Führer
preferable? A fascist military state or a literal extinction? My frontal lobe has been plastered on my ceiling from the force of his galaxy brain supernova. Yeah, even if you were pick any political vantage, pick any sort of militaristic view. If you're dead, you're dead. I mean, if you pick something that works and you're surviving, good for you. You're up against a galactic force.
Again,
Can I read-
in when humanity faces extinction, every alternative is preferable, and that was in the context of torturing an AI to make it fracture to make more AI, and that was something which was while not being Halo canon, it was still within the Halo universe with Red versus Blue, and it is somewhat well renowned as in Halo and everything.
Can I read the next super chat? Because it's making fun of extra credits.
All right.
yes.
You didn't ask for this. You didn't choose this. But you're a Spartan super soldier.
I mean,
And it's just as the same as playing on the Covenant side.
I'm fine with playing a Spartan super soldier.
Yeah.
Hook me up. Where's my suit?
I actually did ask for that, and I did choose it. So fuck you.
Yeah, you bought this game, but you didn't choose this.
Oh my god, yeah, the logic of that extra credits take was so stupid.
It's not as bad as
Now you're
MovieBob,
an-
though. This is worse. This logic is much worse.
It's okay. They commit genocide. They're all slaves, but they're diverse guys.
It's so asinine.
All right. Mike Testa?
Mike Testa. So Bungie the Frog is a supremacist, huh? Yup. Pretty much, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't know what their supremacy over, but yeah, they are definitely in the category.
They're not trying to figure out how to add landmines into the game so that the player can have a little bit more gameplay type. They're busy trying to figure out how to advance an agenda. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Here's Nathan Brake. Am I the producer of this episode? I think you are. It's either between you, Jake, and Joe Crazy. I don't know. It's one of you three. Not sure what's going on anymore.
Nice.
I have not been following. There's been so many goddamn super chats. I'm never finishing this damn video. Come on, we've been doing this for 2 hours. It's a 5-minute video. We're not done yet.
2 hours of a 5-minute video. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Everybody loves it.
Smudboy's breaking. Smudboy's breaking. MovieBob is trying
Guys,
to kill
break
Smudboy.
Smudboy.
All right, we're almost done. Let's get Smudboy out of here, guys. Operation. It's like Black Hawk Down. We're running to the to the stadium.
Okay.
Some pretty scary unintended symbolism there. This is some kind of self-parody, right? Right? Okay, maybe that's taking it too far. The show is called The Big Picture, after all. And in this
Can
case,
you
the big
have
picture
unintended
isn't the
symbolism?
creepy fascist undertones and Halo.
Like if you write a story, you know, intend something to be a symbol or to be a stand-in or a metaphor. Is it unintended? Can you have unintended symbolism? That's kind of a strange thought.
I wonder if he thinks that Captain America is a fascist symbol.
It has America in his name. Of course, you think it's fascist.
I don't think he does. He loves the MCU. Like, he's a huge MCU stan.
What the heck is unintended symbolism? Like, symbolism is obscure enough, but that implies that the writer's like, well, I didn't really want to do that, but now that I think of it, yeah, it's a pretty good idea. No, they didn't.
Exactly. It isn't.
To Steve Rogers have.
Shouldn't symbolism in a work of fiction written by a creative, shouldn't the symbolism be intentional? Like, if it's not intended to be a symbol by the creator of the work, then is it really a symbol? Can you have unintended symbolism, or is this the fact that the person is reading too much into it?
I would say reading too much into it.
I mean,
I don't think
it's like just right.
Unintended symbolism. That's kind of strange.
I want to point out a comment.
Oh, go for it.
Yes, Mud. I wonder what will break first, your spirit or your body.
What? What are we talking about?
Your spirit or your body?
Oh, please.
It's a reference.
Idiots like Just Right, Patrick Willems, and MovieBob, and Alex Shaw all are like obsessed with reading stuff into things. And like that's why a lot of them don't like Rise of Skywalker, because there's no meta text for them to read, because Rise of Skywalker is a surface level bad movie, whereas The Last Jedi is a masterwork of symbolism and amazing things, because it has subtext that they can read all of this weird stuff into it.
I myself am a master of unintended symbolism.
It is
with the Lego Movie, they interpreted the Rex Danger Vest type as a metaphor for the whiny Star Wars fanboys and other fanboys that are whiny about like diversity and other stuff, and that Finn has turned into one of these kids and needs to himself by the end of the movie.
I mean, it is possible for a writer to just write something they like and not think about it, and they repeat a pattern or they repeat an idea, and that could be seen as a symbol, so they weren't aware of doing it at the time. I could see something along those lines. Like, let's say you're a writer about the military, or you're a writer about romance, you just repeat the same idea in your previous book or whatever. It's like, oh, I know what I'm doing, I want to add a little flavor, and you keep adding that little touch. I could see that, but it's such a nuance to say that a writer has that capacity and not be self-aware. That's silly. Every writer's very aware of every word they put on the page, and if they're not, they're very bad at writing. So, I don't know. This is just a silly thing to say.
Yeah.
What a silly Billy.
Oh my God, where are the super chats? Guys, come on. There was one to read, now there's 8.
Oh my God, there's like 5 of them right there. We can do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where are we? I can knock these out really fast if you want.
All right, the one is from Mike Testa. Start at Mike Testa.
Okay. The Gigglebone Bungee, by the way, you get what I mean, Glib. Yes, I do. Lollipop, Lord of Bahigao. $3. You can now twist your tongue on my name. Lollipop, Lord of Bahigao. Nathan Brake, in the words of Halo 3, finish the fight. If fascist symbolism is unintended, doesn't that mean that Bungie doesn't support fascism like Bob said earlier? Thanks, John. That is correct. You are logical. He is not. Joe Crazy, will the real Smudcast producer please stand up? That's me, because I'm the best ever. Lieutenant Colonel Tanya von de Gurochev. Do the EFAT MovieBob Boberto quiz. Maybe on another episode, but we want to get out of here. Lenny the Shark. First your body, then your mind. Finally your spirit. You're only bone and meat, Smud. $2 from you know him as Genghis Khan. Remember, TLJ has the best symbolism. Wombs. As in womb man. Lily Pop. Lard of Ahugu. If your obscure symbolism isn't wombs, it's trash. I agree. And that catches us up.
Jesus, that was fast.
Yeah.
Let's keep going before they super chat again.
It seemed like chat was making it rain for a second.
No time. Get to the chopper.
Halo,
Let's do this.
or the rather embarrassingly vast pantheon of Heinlein wannabe Space Marine stories. It's the fact that this...
They're not embarrassing. The guy's a giant of science fiction. What do you... Okay, come on. Now he's
Halo.
insulting.
Only one of the biggest
wait,
franchises, rivaling Star Wars and Mass Effect and Star Trek.
Wait a second. He's saying Heinlein knockoffs. He's not saying Heinlein himself. Let's be fair. He's not saying Heinlein himself is a knockoff. He's saying that there are a bunch of Heinlein wannabe knockoffs that suck.
Sure, but there's bad science fiction all over the place. I mean, it's hard to write.
I agree.
Well, the man was a giant, so if you're going to be inspired and do a knockoff of one of the giants, that makes sense. So I'm nothing wrong with that. It depends on which and how, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a lot of, like the geography of like at least 2 of my series is heavily based on Middle Earth because I like using that particular geography.
It's always funny for people to be like, oh yeah, Heinlein was a fascist, and then Roddenberry was a communist when they were both just Navy guys. Like, chill out, people. Stop trying to impose your own projection onto other people's work and read it at face value before you tell everybody else what it's about.
And what's wrong with trying to copy the greats? I see nothing wrong with this. And not doing a perfect job. Oh God, what the shame in doing that.
How dare you try to learn from somebody else?
Sorry, MovieBob, for not being as good as the greats. Sorry.
We should all be as good as MovieBob's Super Mario Brothers 3, brick by brick. If you've read it, you know. Real writers have spelling errors in their books that they publish.
Real writers don't care about world building because world building is not storytelling.
Oh God, let's continue.
Or they think that world building.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, of the pure and thus noble monoculture under threat by multiculture is still so.
Oh my God.
Okay.
A monoculture.
Humanity. The United Nations Space Command
Jeez,
has a bunch of different races.
monoculture. The United Earth. See, the United Earth is apparently a monoculture.
As a man actually played Halo, or did he just watch a trailer for it once and made his review?
I think he might have done that. I think he might have just watched the trailer.
We might have to hold this accountable to him for the rest of his life if he considers all of humanity to be just sort of like grey.
Well, he's contradicting himself. It's like if everybody diverse planet Earth working together in peace is a monoculture, then you can't win. You cannot win. If we all come together in peace, it's not good enough. If we stay different and distant, but we still are in peace, like nationalities, it's still not good enough.
What we need to do is we need to become enslaved by an alien race that commits genocides.
Oh, I forgot. Right. As long as MovieBob is in charge, it's all good. Doesn't matter. Rule by fiat.
I'm losing the point he's trying to make here. It's.
I think he just hates that Halo is popular because I think he just doesn't like it, and then he tries to slander it.
You might be onto something because it's not similar to Super Mario Brothers. It's probably not as good. So.
Of course. Lollipop Lord of Ahagao. I'm getting all my money's worth tonight. $3. Yeah.
It's 20 Donkey Kong currency.
That's true.
Donkey Kong currency.
Let me establish this. DKK, Donkey Kong currency.
Where's the
unskilled.
It's where the data say like Alex Shaw, for example, like makes a casual comment that like the Empire are a bunch of races who hate all aliens and they would happily round them up into camps. It's like
sounds good to me. No.
Why are you associating like real world historical races versus an alien species? They are not the same.
Tragically pervasive in the human imagination that it even crops up here, which is especially ironic since the whole idea of the Covenant as bad guys is supposed to be critical of blind loyalty to arcane belief systems. Why does some part of our collective psyche still fear...
You don't think slavery is arcane?
I think that's relating to the theocratic angle that they have.
I still don't understand how the humans are... he hasn't described how human beings are bad in Halo.
He's
just pointed out like the aesthetics. He just said the aesthetics. All he's saying is that the aesthetics are racist and fascist, and it's just like the only thing that makes something fascist is if they spout fascist ideology.
Right, exactly. This is
Unless they state it, it is not there. Sorry to cut you off, guys.
All right, Nathan Brake, thanks again. His name is like Ahego. Oh, okay. It's Hinati thing? I don't know what Hinati is.
It's a hentai thing. It's Ahegao.
Oh.
It's Ahegao. I know Ahegao. I don't know how to pronounce Japanese, but it's not even good. Gezugao is the good one.
I have no idea what these two guys are talking about, but thank you for clarifying that. I will now go figure whatever that means later.
It's the face like orgasm face, but you cross your eyes because it's so good. That's what it is.
Okay.
Let's continue on that note.
The concept of racial or cultural mixing, and why is it so ingrained that we hardly even notice it anymore? More importantly, why aren't we more inclined to try noticing it and even getting rid of it? I'm Bob, and that's the big picture.
Did you fucking
the big picture is that he thinks that the UNSC is a monoculture that's racist because he clearly has not played the game to see that there's all races in it. So I'm actually starting to believe LiteratureDevil that he didn't even play the game.
Yeah, it's full of humans. Therefore monoculture, right?
These disgusting, damn, dirty humans.
Is MovieBob an alien?
I guess
that would explain a lot.
That would explain a whole lot.
I think it might. Yeah.
If he's you know what it is? MovieBob is either an AI or he's like an alien that was sent to planet Earth to figure out how to take it over. But
I am human too. I believe that alien slaves that are diverse are better than humanity. Ha ha ha.
Because here's what happened. The aliens thought that the superior form of life on the planet was the nerd because they were making the most amount of money or whatever for cultures. So they sent an emissary to try and take over the planet and lead it to the alien into alien bondage. And that man was MovieBob. So they made a big mistake, and now they can't take him back. So he's like, well, I guess I'll just keep running off my programming and trying to convince people that humans are bad.
They don't have enough
humans
fuel
are
in their
bad.
spaceships. Something that heavy back out of that.
That's why he was saying that was a small amount of food for a human, because he doesn't know the amount of food that humans are supposed to eat because he's an alien.
Everything now makes sense.
Elvis the alien, get on it. Can you confirm if he's also an alien?
He's also trapped here because his ship doesn't have enough fuel to move his mass off the planet's surface.
He came here, discovered McDonald's, and he grew 5 sizes that day.
It's because he's so odious that they don't want him around, so they abandoned him and said, "Oh, we gotta leave. Got an urgent appointment elsewhere."
So he's like the
he's basically Invader Zim.
He's basically
send him here to get rid of him.
Exactly, yeah. He's Invader Zim mixed with Star-Lord, except instead of Star-Lord, it's just like Star Trucker.
Only instead
Star Trucker.
Only instead of being charismatic like Chris Pratt, he's a charisma vacuum like Jai Courtney or Ryan Johnson.
Well, I think that's I think that we figured it out. Not only is this a terrible video about Halo, but MovieBob is also an alien trying to take over the planet and get back to his race. It makes sense now. I get it. He might be on the Covenant side. It's very strange.
Here's one from Market 3D. So that's why he wants to go into space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The only place unaffected by capitalism.
Well, I think that's the whole video. I don't think there's anything more after that, right?
We got, a few seconds, but that's fine. We're good. Guys, thanks. That was painful and sad and crazy and insane. So, wow. Please, no more MovieBob for a while. I think we've had our fill for a while now. If you guys have any other recommendations.
This is one of the most entertaining ones we've had in a while.
It was.
It has been.
It was short and painful. Like, it stretched out so far.
Smud, can you look at me with a straight face and tell me he is worse than 8080 chat?
Yes.
Yes.
No, he
is.
No.
Yes.
I meant no. So what I meant to say was because before you said 8080 chat wasn't as bad as this guy.
8080 chat is not as intelligent, meaning he'll take something mundane and think it's special by.
No, but 8080 chat isn't going to come out and he's not going to say that the Covenant is good because they're diverse, despite the fact they do slavery and genocide.
Yeah, but we're comparing like the ramblings of a less crazy Major League person to MovieBob. It's like, okay, nothing really compares. But when you're talking about a fanboy, I think AT-AT-chan is constantly crazy. The same way Major League is constantly crazy, but Major League's putting on a face.
But this guy is way worse than anything AT-AT-chan is.
What about Maggie May Fish?
No, she's worse. She is definitely worse.
Not even any thought. Just she's worse.
Maggie May, you just sit there. Like the last 2 minutes of that, I was just like, no, stop talking, stop. It was so crazy. Like Bob is like, I have an opinion on racism and whatever. I'm always going to say these are fascists and these are good guys. Like that's we get it. He's a political nut job. Maggie May is just. It's take a Wit and Folly. Okay, take her and just multiply her by about 6, and give her like a better camera, and she's really serious. Then she's cute and fuzzy, and then she does all these silly things, and it's like, oh, this is depressing, and then it's trying to be cute, and then it's stupid. Now it's trying to be cute, and like, no. So it hits you on multiple levels. Plus, her conclusions are insane. With Bob, it's like he's just Bob. I'm crazy. This is how it goes. Like, all right, great. You see how
another Wit and Folly. We should do another Maggie May Fish video sometime.
We might, just switch it up. Just because people who are crazy, they have different paths to their insanity, and I think we've gone through enough to know how they get there. Because it's either so childish that they make one mistake, or they have one bias and it blurs their entire vision. With Maggie May, it's a combination of things, and I don't know what.
It's really hard to find sane people to disagree with amicably on YouTube. Because usually when people you are like, you may have a difference of opinion.
Right.
It'll be like, the Gokanaro video that I just watched. One of his critics, that's his favorite video is by Starkiller, who was making a critique of it. It's like, wow, that's great. I wish we could get something like that where we could actually have a good dialogue about an opposing opinion that was respectable, even if you disagree. I like that. There's so many of these that are just badly put together, but with the same amount of gusto and ego as somebody who has years of experience and education and stuff. It's mind-bending.
The MovieBob just had years of experience eating McDonald's.
Yeah.
We'll do a Maggie May Fish morning nonsense.
Dude, you're not gonna. You're gonna have no time. It's just too much to unpack, man.
We could do that.
You remember when we tried to do her Fight Club video? You remember that? We got through 7 minutes in 2 hours.
Oh yeah, she does very long ones too. Yeah, so it's very. I mean, you really have to have dedication and passion to be that nuts.
Yeah, she's insane. She's so nuts.
Like Wit and Folly's cute in comparison. She's like, little girl. She's going through university, reading one book constantly. Whereas Maggie May is like, well, this is what I think about daddies because they're evil, but they're really nice even when they're evil. It's like, what? What are you talking about?
No, they're framed as sympathetic, even though they're abusers.
Yeah.
It's just like
that sexual connotation. Everything was creepy and weird about that flick. I just couldn't understand.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're good, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, everyone. It was a full panel, aside from Southpaw, who's probably crying in the corner over The Last of Us 2, and Evan's probably working, so good for them.
He should be not be here.
Yeah, we'll punish him later.
We'll make him watch Maggie May Fish with us.
So the dungeon with him.
If anyone has any suggestions outside of MovieBob and Maggie May Fish, please go right ahead. Come to the Discord. Come to the comment section. Leave your suggestions. I'll be happy to look at it. It's a democratic process. Someone likes an idea, we might run with it, or at the last second we'll have a vote. It just whatever happens. But we can do with a break from the MovieBob and other crazies just for this week, guys. Just this week. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I think that's good.
Okay.
Thank you, Glib, LiteratureDevil, Dunn, Shiny, and Voice in the Radio. As always, this is Smudcast. Have yourself a good evening, and take care of yourself out there.